out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, Radford pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint, calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite.
Keon Brown joins us. We'll put a wrap on the NBA Finals. Damian Sordelette, the Tech football beat writer for the Roanoke Times, will join us. Donnie Lynn, the head basketball coach at Mount St. Mary's, and Matt Roan, the director of athletics at James Madison. I'm not going to make it in time. Yeah, there we go. Had to stop it there. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Stephen. Top of the morning to you, T-Bird. Hey, how was fishing with your grandson? Hit us up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat room. Mark Hunley at 155 Walters Drive. or the Professional Door Incorporated text line. That's Travis Williams up in Dublin, 391-0788, as we broadcast live here from the Family Fencing Studios, 540-200-8294. Get a free quote from them today. And as we're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, thanks to Tim Miller and to Jonathan Sweet, we're kept cool, we're kept warm with Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. Charles Lee, 540-553-2971. We always have a cool question of the week brought to you by the attorney, Ryan Pry, 701 West Main Street in Radford Trusts and Estate Planning. Don't forget about Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. All sorts of manufactured parts for your home, windows, doors, your plumbing. National Bank, member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of me, and, of course, this program, thanks to Larry Ramsey and Company. Don't forget about the Ready Set Fund. You want to earn some money quickly for your organization, ReadySetFund.com. Email Bob Chris, CRST11 @gmail.com. And he'll tell you all about it. Sundown Electric is got an excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients, attest to superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, clear communications. They are one of the best businesses, 5-star rated business throughout the NRV. We're going to have our bash at the NRV Super Bowl. Reach out to Terry, 540-382-5525. Told you about their 4th of July special, which is really cool coming up. The things they're going to be offering there. And we got a lot going on with the Super Bowl that we're going to be telling you about. And don't forget, we're going to be having our bash there. They're also doing bowling for backpacks starting on the 27th of June, 10 a.m. All proceeds go to support the Stuff the Bus program. It's awesome. They're just all about the community. Don't forget, it's game time at the Super Bowl, 375 Arbor Drive, I should say, in Christiansburg. That's just $50 for a team of 4 to play 3 games, raffles, and prizes all day for a great cause, bowling for backpacks. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel for providing our T-shirts. If you want a T-shirt, hang on. Yeah, they look like that. $20. $20 if you want a T-shirt. Is that everybody? For now? I think so. Good morning, Prometheus, bringer of fire. Good morning, Mr. Oliver. Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Please subscribe, like, and share. We'd love to hear from you. Join us. How's everybody doing? It's been cool. Got back from honeymoon. Been able to hang out, meeting lots of the other side of the family here at the beginning part of the week. People who couldn't come to our we didn't have a lot of people at the wedding. We just had certain folks and our kids and so forth, certain family members. And now it's been cool to hang. It's been a good week. Oldest son, able to come in, things like that. It's been good. It's been good. Kind of need a couple of weeks. You got a little life-changing event there, right? No, I'm not. Hi, D7. Yeah. T-Bird says it was priceless. We caught few fish, but made many memories. Absolutely. Had so much fun that Austin, your grandson, spent a second night. We fished. I noticed you weren't here yesterday. I just figured you guys camped out all night. You just decided just to stay out there. I don't blame you one bit, man. Don't blame you one bit at all. Those are memories that mean more. Hey, Switzerland. What's up, Calyug? Calyug Caravan, Switzerland. Now, you would be, by the way, Calyug, if you subscribe, we have 14 different countries represented in our subscriber base. If you subscribe, you'll be 15. You'll be the first citizen of Switzerland. What time is it in Switzerland? I love to find out stuff like that. What time is it right now in Switzerland? We're at 6:10 Eastern time here in the United States. That's cool. Switzerland. Thank you, Calyug. That's a country I would like to go. Like to visit. We are in southwestern Virginia, the southeastern part of the United States, Calyug. That's where we are. We're sports and we're fun. Tomorrow night, by the way, we debut a new feature here on the channel as Big Dog Pop, which we talk about everything under the sun. will join, and you will be an active part. You'll be on the screen with me. It's going to be great. What's up? Oh, I'm going to butcher this. I'll do my best. Aman Kumar, hello. Please subscribe. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. I'll let you know the time tomorrow, but I'm going to take the rest of the week off. I don't give a damn. I'm with family. Hello, Diva. Welcome. Subscribe, please. Spread the word. I love this. We got a bunch of new people. Brad, how are you? From atop the Empire State Building in New York City, where the Knicks amazingly broke a 53-year championship drought, the grand old lady looks down at hoodlums and thugs trashing the city throughout. Yeah, somebody's got to help me understand the phenomenon of winning the championship and trashing your city. I understand partying and celebrating. Look, if any fan base needs a release, man. Thanks, Diva. Appreciate you. 53 years between titles, I get it. But do you have to trash things? What are we doing? Why is that the first? Oh, that's right. We're humans, and our most basic function is destruction. Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, don't know why we do that. Like, I don't watch the Broncos win or win a Super Bowl and I immediately start trashing my house or my neighborhood. They're just blowing off some grief. Yeah, I guess. What's up, Manohar? Please subscribe. Yeah, the Japanese fans cleaning up after themselves. When we went, I didn't go, but when a few years ago when Darius Nichols took the Highlanders, we had Ibu Yamazaki on our roster, and they went and played and toured and played 4 college teams there. And he said it was stark, the contrast, how polite, nobody got anybody's way, nobody got anybody's business. It was the cleanest city. He goes, you could have probably eaten off the streets. No animosity. And in here, you can't turn a corner without thinking somebody's, coming after you. Terrible. Oh, you saw a hawk's nest. That's pretty cool. Mama sitting on eggs atop an Abco pole near the Old Sportsman. Saw a mama bear, and I love that. I love it when I see bears. People get the wrong impression of bears. They get scared, man. Yes, if you have a pleasant face, I will always reach out and say hello. I did that a lot on our honeymoon. Just say, hey, how are you? I was in a good mood anyway, It's amazing how you can change somebody else's day, maybe your own day, if you just look at somebody and smile and say, hey, good morning. How are you? All right? Something simple like that can make your day better. Why can't we just do that? You don't give a damn what they look like. You don't give a damn about their politics, what they do. Hey, how are you? Good morning. I hope your day's off to a good start. Wow, what a concept. So, hell yeah, I'd say hello to you. I'm not a big soccer fan. I'm an American football fan. I know, Manohar. Look, I have immense amount of respect for what we're seeing. I think Messi had a hat trick. I understand how great he is. But for Americans, most Americans, football isn't in our wheelhouse. It's not for everyone. Just like it's not anti for everyone. It's not for everyone. I mean, I'm glad it's going on. I respect it. But that's not something I'm going to consciously sit down and watch. It would be like if VT beats Miami at Lane, then we all go over and burn Will's Tech Sideline studio up. Exactly. Let's go, Stewart! Tech Sideline's coming down! We won! What are we doing, man? We're champions! Torch the Empire State Building! I mean, what? Just stupid. Turning cars over, setting things on fire. As you get a little older, like when you get a big win, when the Broncos get a big win or something, I'm just sitting and go, yeah, that's my celebration. All right. Or I might yell out a little bit, go have a beer. I'm not calling up my buddies. Hey, did you see that? Let's go destroy some crap. I do remember Tech fans tearing down the goalpost and marching it downtown. Now, see, okay. All right. Now, here you go. This is going to come across as hypocritical. At least tearing down the goalpost is kind of a traditional type of celebration. Right? Right? It's kind of a, at that point, at least, and if you're carrying it downtown and you're not hurting anything, and then if you take it back, England, Croatia. I'm gonna go England in a tight one. I'm gonna say Bringer. I'm gonna say England 2-1 over Croatia. I do know that's on Fox because I saw the promo last night. 4:00. Is that right? 4:00 Eastern. Or they might draw, but I'm going to go with England. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's on the Professional Door text line. Thanks. I haven't heard from a lot of folks about the wedding. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great. You got Croatia? All right. I think it's going to be a good game. Yeah, close. What about the band being in the field during the game? Yeah, that's true. They come out to celebrate or they come out and play a little early. And then they get run over. That's pretty good stuff. We are in Virginia. We're in the southeast portion, Bringer. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of collateral damage. Yeah, you're probably right, Prometheus. Yeah, the most famous band getting run over here, Ricky. Thank you, Bringer. Appreciate that. You're welcome anytime. Again, I'm not a massive soccer guy, but respect the hell out of it. These are the best in the world. So, remember the Cal Stanford game? You hear the call on the open of the show. California has won the game. The band was out there playing, and then all of a sudden, that was John Elway's last collegiate game, by the way. A little trivia there. And then they got the kickoff return, and they scored, and all the laterals. And next thing you know, band members getting pummeled. He came down. I think he came down on the trumpet player. I have never been to Croatia. No, I have not. I hear it's a lovely country, though. I have a little bit of experience with Croatia, not much, but my daughter's first post-high school serious relationship was with a Croatian gentleman who was a student here. He was very, very polite, very, very respectful of my family and my wishes about my daughter. So, yeah. Absolutely, John Elway is a top 3 quarterback. Maybe the most physically gifted quarterback we've seen come out. I know at the time he was. John Madden said there haven't been anybody like him. And if you ever watched the 30 for 30 on the 1983 draft, and John Elway was not going to play for the Colts, who were coached at the time by Frank Cush, who had brought allegations against his father, who was a collegiate coach at the time. And he said, I'm not playing for Baltimore. And then, of course, they moved the team in the middle of the night and ended up with Denver and all the teams that went after him. It's really interesting. Austin talked about how cool it would be on a scuba dive. Then yesterday, a friendly guy who moved here from California shows up. Oh, that's awesome. He goes, scuba dive? You've got to be kidding me. John Elway threw a lot of picks, but he made some of the best throws in the history of the game. You ever just go to YouTube and watch John Elway's highlight reels. He took 3 teams to the Super Bowl that never should have gone to the Super Bowl. And then he got criticized mightily when they got crushed. Now, the 86 team had earned it. The Giants were just really, really good that year. 87 team against the Browns. I thought the Browns were better that year. That was the Biner fumble. Wayne, I promise I'm not trolling. Wayne, I'm not trolling you. But the Browns deserved to win that second game. I believe that. Hello, Vera's. Veries. Welcome. Subscribe. Please spread the word. We are a family here on the program. We're not trying to promote division, shock, angst. There's too much of that crap in the world. We're here to try to have a good time. And join us tomorrow night, Big Dog Pop. I'm thinking 7 o'clock, 6:30. We're going to get that going on. He did have the perfect ending. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Scored on his last touch in the end zone on a little quarterback sneak. Veers. Welcome. Hope you're well this morning. Like the veer option in football. I am Seattle. I hide them. My legs are so inspiring and outstanding that when people see them, they kind of get mesmerized. They can't take their eyes off. So I keep them hidden. That's for my second career. But anyway, and then in 89, the Broncos played the best team I've ever seen to this day, and that was the 49ers. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. I knew that was the one game I wasn't nervous because I knew they had no chance, because that was the worst of the three Bronco teams that Elway took to the Super Bowl by far, especially defensively. And I was resigned to the fact that they were going to get crushed. And they did, record-setting fashion. So I was like, oh, that's about right. It's about right. But he got a lot of criticism, man, but he took those teams there on his back. Dan Reeves was not the right coach long-term for him, never wanted to. He turned to him at the end of games to win games. Remember, Ricky? It was always like Dan Reeves, who I had a lot of respect for, God rest his soul. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Stupid that he's not. But he kind of was counterproductive. Tried to trade him until Pat Bowlen, the new owner, said, nah. He was almost a Redskin. Redskin. Now, I'm not wearing the thigh-high socks now, blood, because I've got the fishnets on. Seattle's already kind of got me scoped out here. Remember, it's all about believing. Don't stop. Believe. But he did have the perfect ending. He did. He had a lot more physical. This is where the whole debate about the best of all time kind of gets thrown in. John Elway was clearly physically superior as a quarterback to Tom Brady, but Tom Brady has the best results of any quarterback ever, the winningest quarterback, 6 Super Bowls. John did carry those teams. And then here comes TD. Yep, absolutely. Got to meet John Elway, Ricky, in 2004. I went to his Hall of Fame induction. The show was 4 years old at that time, just on the radio, well before this whole YouTube thing. And I was out there. Barry Sanders was inducted as well. It was a great class. And I got to interview John Elway. He was terrific. And had his daughter go up there and do his introduction. It was cool. It was cool. Yeah, T-Bird. Well, T-Bird, you and I have talked about my leg modeling, right? I've sent you some private shots, whether it's the thigh-high socks or whether it's leg modeling or whether it's the fishnets. Those Browns teams were definitely better overall, but just shot themselves in the foot and were victims of Elway's magic. Yeah, the 86 championship game was terrific. That was the drive, 98.5 yards away. And then the Carlos kick at the end. That was just right down the middle, right, Wayne? Rich Carlos's field goal that won the game in overtime. Right down the middle, no doubt. Now, I got a haircut. Hey, Vin, I got a haircut. It's not necessarily. I used to fight, Vin. I used to be a boxer, and I liked it short. And you have to cut it short when you fight because when you get hit, If you have a lot of hair and the perspiration bounces off and it gets a lot spread out, you get points taken away, or your opponent gets more points. So you keep your hair short. Yeah, it's nice meeting legends, Ricky, when they turn out to be cool. I've been very fortunate that all of the heroes that I've met, Tony Gwynn, maybe being the nicest of all, were really, really cool people. You get a little nervous. Yeah, you don't want to. What if somebody's your favorite player, your athlete, and then you meet him and there's complete toolboxes? You know? Good stuff. Welcome to all the new peeps. It's good to be back from honeymoon week. Thanks again. I got tons of messages yesterday. I mean, you're not bothering me. Thank you. It means a lot on the professional door text line. It's great. It's great. Busy show today. We started off always in grand fashion on a Wednesday by my brother from another mother or two. My mother, his mother, whatever.
Yeah, man.
What's up, brother?
Rick Watson, what's going on? Congratulations, brother. How are you?
Hey, how about that, man? We're married. We're married people.
Yeah, man.
How about that, man?
Life moves fast, doesn't it?
You're my inspiration. Let me show you here. Let me go. There we are. Nice. There we are. What do you think?
What a beautiful couple.
Well, half of the picture is great.
Yeah, we're not talking about you.
Yeah, we're not talking about the other side. By the way, she wants to beat you, so we got to do that. I think we got to do that.
Yeah, we'll make it happen next season for sure.
Absolutely. Well, how's the fan? How you enjoying your summer? Are you already back into it?
Yeah, I'm back into it. Tomorrow, summer school will be halfway done. That quick. It's almost over already.
But you're digging that, okay, right? You don't mind
I love
that.
summer school. Summer school is like, as soon as you get to that point where, all right, is it time to go? It's time to go. So, like, I tell everybody this: I just got to get past 10 o'clock. If I can get from 10 to 11, the hour 10 to 11 is the worst. But when you get to that, it's smooth sailing.
Is this the one that ends around noon every day?
Yeah, it's the one that ends at noon.
Oh, well, then you're golden, man. You got nothing to worry about.
And the way you were just describing John Elway sounds a lot like how we describe LeBron. He took a lot of those teams that had no business going to the championship championship. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah. I thought you were talking about LeBron. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, Elway did that, and he got ridiculed, man. He got killed in the media. Oh, my Lord, he got crushed in the media about it.
Yeah, I think people who think that way are idiots. I really do. I really do. Like,
I know.
If it's better for you to lose in the first round than the championship.
Yeah.
Just for a narrative.
I know. Right.
That makes no sense to me.
Hey, thanks, Mama Brown. Your mom's here. Congratulations.
Yeah, she was here this past weekend. My daughter had a recital.
How'd that go?
It went amazing.
Was that her first one?
That was her first one.
Oh, take me through it. Now, how nervous were you? Now I
wasn't nervous at all.
Okay, you were just like you showed up when you played around.
Yeah, I'm not the nervous type. I'm not. I'm more anxious than everything. I want to see it. I want to get ready to play. I want the
understand.
I was telling somebody yesterday, the worst part of college basketball is the warm-up. You get to the gym at 4:30 and you look at the clock and it's like 180 minutes left.
Yes.
I'm like, I can't stand that. It's not 180 minutes worth of warming up in the world.
I know. You're right. Ridiculous. So what did she sing? Was she dancing?
No, she did a dance, whatever you call it, a dance selection or whatever.
Yeah.
Their group. She did amazing. She really did.
Ricky agrees with you, Keon. He says, I said the same thing about LeBron losing in the finals. I'd rather come in second place than 16th and lose in the first round.
There we go. Or not make it at all, right? Some people think it's better to not even make it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did what? I got to be honest. I was guilty that when the Broncos kept losing Super Bowls, and Elway talks about it when they went back, his mom was like, "Oh no, you're going back to the Super Bowl the year they played the Packers and upset them."
Well, I'll say the New York Knicks have given me a lot of hope for my Commanders.
We got to talk about it. Yes.
I will say that because, man, it's been a drought. We had that one season a few years ago, Jaden's rookie year. That was the best season of my lifetime. Nothing has come close to that since I've been alive. I've been a Redskins Commanders fan since I've been born. And Die Hard can tell you everybody that's been on the rosters. And
I know.
The Knicks have motivated me to want to see and what could be for my football team. I'm telling you, man.
Well, I got to be honest. You'd be proud of me. I took the time to watch, and I was very impressed. The Knicks were throwback to me.
They were throwback.
I had a good time watching them. I thought they were well coached. I think their staff coached rings around San Antonio.
They absolutely did.
I mean, you fall behind in every game. There was never panic. And I got to be honest, right now, and I know it's fresh off a win, Jalen Brunson might be my favorite player in the league. I love everything.
So
I love everything about it. Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, interestingly enough, was a guy who played for the same AAU program that I played for a while. His dad was the assistant coach at UVA under Dave Lato, and while he was the assistant coach for under Dave Lato, he played for the Richmond Squires AAU program. He was a young guy. I think he was a few years younger than me, and I would always see him. He was always good, but I never thought he'd be this good. That kid was unbelievable even then when we were little, but to see what he's become now, and then he went on to play in the EYBA. I think he played with Mac Irvin Fire. But to see what he is now, nobody could have saw this coming. Nobody, except the Knicks, because they were the only team that offered him that big contract. And for all the slack that the owners get, and especially James Dolan, people were calling him the worst owner in sports over the last decade or so. Nobody's talking about how good he's been over the last few years and the good decisions that he's made.
Absolutely.
So while somebody can get killed for the last 10 years, you also can give him praise, especially when his team wins the championship.
Well, I agree. And they're unapologetic. They're committed to defense. They're tough. They never panic. And, you know, people have said it when you watch them play, who's on the floor going after every loose ball? There was the Knicks. And I got caught up in it. In 53 years, man, that's incredible that they ended that. But I was very excited and it very kind of like, okay, I never expected a current NBA team to make me feel like I was watching the game that I grew up with, but they did that. So,
but it might have been like deja vu to you because that same team, I believe, that was on that Villanova roster were the three guys for the Knicks, right? The Josh Harts, the Michael Bridges, the Jalen.
Well, that's
Brown,
right. That's right.
That's the team you saw in 2019.
Yeah,
those guys just went from the NCAA, did the same thing a few years later in the NBA. And you can tell by all the chemistry that they had out on the court. The only person they were missing was Dante DiVincenzo, who they traded away from New York to Minnesota. So they deserve it. They really got hot at the right time. They were the best team in basketball over the last 2 months. The only team to give them some problems were the Atlanta Hawks, which is crazy because during that season, there were times like if the Knicks lose this series, everybody's getting fired, everybody's getting traded. Now you fast forward it 7 weeks, and now they're the NBA champions and have only lost one game since their last loss to the Hawks after beating them by 50. It was unbelievable. The run.
It was unbelievable.
And for the Spurs to be up double figures in every single game in the final and lose all of them but one, it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
I don't care who's on there. I don't care how young you are. I don't care who your point guard is. That should not happen. And De'Aaron Fox is getting a lot of hate right now, and deservedly so. He did not play well at all in the finals. And as a point guard, if you give yourself a cushion like that, especially it was game 4 when you were a 30 and you lose MSG, that was the series right there. Just like
that was it was over. It was over.
Like
right.
A few weeks ago, we were talking about Cleveland when Cleveland lost that 20-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Knicks. That was it. So now San Antonio has a lot of decisions to make because I know this. Last year, San Antonio had Chris Paul. If they had Chris Paul on this roster, as old as he is, they would not have lost those games if they had the leads in.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
I agree with you.
A lot of decisions because Dylan Harper's a really good player. Stephon Castle is a really good player on both sides of the ball. Wembanyama has the potential to be arguably the best player to play the game pound for pound. So you got to figure out what you're going to do with Fox because he's getting paid a lot of money, and you can't play the way that you did in the finals and expect to be the guy moving forward.
Well, I got a lot of questions for you about the Spurs. Let's start at the top. You know, it's the NBA, and we saw this happen with Malone in Denver, right? They got their title. People expected, all right, you got the best player in the world, right? Nikola Jokic, they didn't get it done the next year. He started to lose favor. He got fired pretty quickly the year after. Do the Spurs repeat that if they get off to kind of a weird start? I mean, because the coaching was stark, how different it was and how much better it was in the other locker room.
Well, I'm not sure because it's such a great organization in San Antonio. And unfortunately, Mitch Johnson wasn't he didn't go out to be in this position. Coach Popovich had the stroke. He no longer can coach, so they had to put somebody in there, and they chose him. And I think they chose him for a reason. So I think in order to get somewhere, you have had to been somewhere. And this is their been somewhere. Just like the Knicks a season ago, losing to Indiana in 6. All of the teams that eventually win championships had to have went through something. And I just think this is it for the Spurs. Now, I do think they need better decision makers at the point guard position. I really do. I say this, a lot of people think that the Spurs are still kind of far away because of the point guard. I say you go get LeBron and make him your point guard and see what happens. That's my opinion. Put him on that team with those young guys, and he's your point guard, and he can be your Magic Johnson. We just saw what he did in the first round and against OKC. Obviously, no Luka, you're going to get swept out of the playoffs. They did. But if you put him and surround him with those younger guys, that's a move that I think they need to try to make. I really do believe that. And it's not a long period of time. It's going to be a 1, maybe a 2-year rental. He's a guy who manages the game, controls the pace, will be able to teach those young guys. I think they have to go and try to get LeBron somehow, some way, at least pursue him.
Would his ego allow Wemby to be the star?
Absolutely. When you go to year, was it 23, 24? Absolutely it will, just like he did it with Luka. He had to be the third wheel. When he's not better than Luka. We all know that at this point, but he's better than Austin Reeves, and he took a backseat to Austin Reeves. He definitely would do that.
Does Wemby need an enforcer? We talked about this a little yesterday with some of the peeps. Does he need some veteran guy? It doesn't have to be some guy to come in and just kick people's ass, but I mean, like, does he need some guy to teach him how to win? Because Wemby is 22. Doesn't know how to win. I don't go there with LeBron though. I'm talking about
was 22 years old, just like him, led his team to the finals, got crushed by the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, that roster. You had to learn from that. So who better to learn than from a guy who went exactly through what you went through?
Ricky says Trae Young.
No, he's just got traded to the Wizards. Can't do that.
That's true. Yeah, they're not going to get him back. Somebody like that.
Yeah.
I think he needs somebody to show him how to be a winner at this level. And what I mean is a championship type of player. He's 22. He doesn't know how to win yet.
That's LeBron. I'm telling you. And last year, Chris Paul was huge for his development. I don't know why they let him go.
Why did they let Chris Paul go? What happened there? Did he retire?
So, yeah, he got traded. And then once he got to his new team, I believe it was the Clippers, they cut him and he retired. This was supposed to be his last season.
Why would you do
that? He
didn't
even play. It's crazy. And it's amazing how people view Victor right now as well, because at first he was one of the most beloved athletes. People loved him. And then after this playoff run, the flagrant fouls, the cheap shots that he was getting, now it's a complete 180. And people are looking at him totally different.
He looks soft. He looked very soft. I'm just going to say
he looked soft and dirty at the same time.
He looked very soft. He's 7'5". He's got skill, but he's going to have to change some things, I think, to be that. And that's what I want to ask you. We don't know him personally,
right?
But he's got everything he's ever going to need in life. He's been told he's been going to be the next thing. I don't see it.
I do.
Maybe I'm wrong. And and I'm not saying he won't be, but right now I don't see it.
But let me ask you this. Let's say they lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7, and you ended at that series. Nobody's talking the way we're talking right now about him.
Probably so. Yeah, you're right.
Because of how good he was. He just ran into a better team with a lot of veterans, with a coach who's been coaching for 20 years, who's been to the championship multiple times, who's won the Coach of the Year, who understands how to play the game and coach the game of basketball. That's what he ran into.
I want to see him develop into a guy who wants it, right? You have to become – well, LeBron had to do that.
Yeah.
You have to become a different type of mindset to be a champion. It's not just going out there and being physically gifted and have all this height and skill. You have to know how to win, and that's something I want to see. That's what I'm curious about. How does he respond to this, right?
Yeah, I still think the Spurs are way ahead of where they need to be. Last year, they didn't even make the playoffs. So to go from not making the playoffs to a finals run is pretty impressive to me. They just need a piece, maybe two. I think I like some of those young guys there. Like I said, Stephon Castle's really good out of UConn. Champagny out of St. John's is a really good shooter. I think a guy like Devin Vassell is a great role player. Keldon Johnson is really good. He's another Virginia guy. I mean, they got what they need over there. You just got to have a better decision maker, because De'Aaron Fox was just exposed in the finals, and seems like we paid him a bit too early. He's going to get paid about a little under $200 million over the next 4 years. From that, what we just saw, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Can the Knicks maintain this, or was this a one-off?
History's telling us it's a one-off based on what we've been seeing in the NBA the last 8 years. There hasn't been a repeat champion since Steph and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant back in 2017 and 2018. So
it's true.
Over the last few years, it's been teams that have been complete teams. This year, it was the Knicks. Last year, it was OKC. The year before that, it was Denver. The year before that, it was Milwaukee. The year before that, it was Boston. The year before that, it was the Lakers had one in there. I mean, it's just right now you have to build a really good roster. And what I'm seeing is the super team era is over. And if you can surround great players with really good role players, you give yourself a shot to win. So is it sustainable? Could be. But I like Boston in the East next year. Jason Tatum injuring that Achilles was everything for the Eastern Conference because that weakened it so much. I believe that everybody thought that Boston was the team to beat in the East. And when Jason Tatum couldn't play in Game 7 versus Philly in round 1, it was over for them, and it's been. And now New York was the next best thing, and they just did what they had to do. But the way that they played in the playoffs, nobody was ready for them, and nobody could get in front of that buzzsaw. They were just hotter than anyone, knocking down the three consistent and playing a complete brand of basketball.
Yeah, congrats, Break Forever. Welcome. Yeah, happy for your Knicks. Congratulations. I was very impressed with your Knicks. He says the Spurs need a power forward too. I kind of see that too. They need a veteran guy. If it's LeBron, that's fine. But he needs somebody, I think, to show him how to be a winner.
Yeah, and I think they recognize that too. I really do. But it's like no better opportunity to get somebody than LeBron right now, who's an unrestricted free agent. He's going to take less money. And if you can steal him, I think you put yourself in a position to where he's the oldest player in NBA history. So you put him on cruise control throughout the regular season, and when it's time to crank up February, March, heading into April, you do that.
Probably be his last year.
Probably.
Right? That's what people are saying.
Yeah, a year for sure, maybe 2. Maybe he hits that quarter century mark, but we'll see.
Now, I saw some things yesterday. I didn't really read it, so I wanted to ask us. I'll ask Keon. I'll ask Keon tomorrow. I saw some stuff on X that there might be a shakeup at the top of the draft. Do you think they're going to see somebody go in another direction other than the BYU kid?
Well, what we've seen is, and what the reports have been, is that Darren Peterson, the guard out of Kansas, who many people thought would be the number 1 pick at the beginning of the college basketball season, he took his interview with the Washington Wizards, who have the number 1 pick, and canceled everything else behind it. I think it would be a huge mistake, but I also think it would be a Washington Wizards move.
You said that a couple weeks ago.
It will be such a Washington Wizards move if they draft Darren Peterson while AJ DeBansa is on the board. Rick Watson, have seen more college basketball and have forgotten more college basketball that you've called than anybody. And you know how hard it is for somebody to come as a true freshman and average 25 points in college basketball.
I know.
It is so hard. For all of you who don't understand, there is an extensive scouting report in college basketball, and AJ DeBansa is on the top of that, and he's still average.
He's the one everybody tries to stop.
Yes.
And nobody could.
In a league like the Big 12.
Right, exactly. Arguably the best league from top to bottom. Arguably the best. Yeah,
that kid is unbelievable. You will be making the worst decision of your franchise if you do not draft him. If he is not in DC, Wizards fans are going to regret that. It's almost like a no-brainer, like a can't miss guy.
Who's got the number 2 pick?
I forget who got the number. Oh, it's Utah. Utah has it.
So they're sitting there just going, "Hey, come on, man! BYU. Oh my Lord!
BYU went to Utah Prep.
Take Peterson, baby. Please take Peterson."
Oh gosh, Wizards! If you mess this up, oh man.
I hope they do. I hope they just send the whole thing upside down.
I think the draft is next Thursday, so
if the kid canceled everything else, though.
He canceled everything else after his interview with the Wizards, yeah.
Ooh, kind of makes you think they made a decision there, doesn't it?
Yes, it kind of does, but at the same time, man, when
smoke
you got
screen?
a prospect like DeBansa, yeah, man.
How big's DeBansa? How big is he?
DeBansa's like 6'9".
Okay, so
he's like Tracy McGrady 2.0 to me. That's who I compare him to.
He's thicker too.
Yeah,
he's got kind of
yes. And you pair that with Trae Young and Anthony Davis, my goodness, what you might have there in DC, it could be special. And that's why I don't think you get Darren Peterson as well, because he's a point guard. You just got Trae Young. Those two guys will not mesh. You put AJ DeBonta in on that 3 spot. You get Trae Young as your point guard. You got Anthony Davis as your 4. Put Alex Sarr as your 5. Alex Sarr is a really good young player for the Wizards. Hey, they could be a team that goes to the playoffs next year.
Hey, Derek on the text line asking you, Keon. Thanks, Derek. He's a big Carolina fan. Where do you think Caleb Wilson will go in the draft?
Caleb Wilson will go 5. I forget who's got the 5th pick, but I think he's going to be a top 5 pick. He's going to he's special. Had you had Caleb Wilson in the NCAA tournament, Hubert Davis is still the coach at North Carolina.
I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah. VCU doesn't upset them. And, you're looking at something totally different. Mike Malone's not there. So, I mean, he's really special. I was afraid that Oklahoma City was going to get that one of those top 5 picks because they had those trades. So, like the 4th and 5th pick is Chicago and the Clippers. So I think that's where you'll see Caleb Wilson, either in Chicago or either in Los Angeles for the Clippers.
Do you think our guy Javonte stays with Detroit? Is he going to be there?
I think so. He's such a fan favorite. They always post him on their social media. They love that guy. He is Detroit personified. Hard hat guy, does all the dirty work. I think he's back another year in Detroit.
Well, they were good. They kind of collapsed at the end of the playoffs, but they showed that they're
they're a score away. I never had high hopes for Detroit. I thought they were always a piece away, and the piece that I think that they're missing is an Austin Reeves or a Devin Booker to go alongside Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren's stock went down in the playoffs, but he's not a guy who can play with his back to the basket, you throw the ball down to. I think they need a few pieces as well. A great season, just another piece away. Try to get Devin Booker if you can, if you're Detroit. That's what I do.
Wayne's asking you, Keon, who's the next up-and-coming team, maybe where it's not on everybody's radar in the NBA? It could be another Knicks type of run. What do you think?
Well, I think a lot of people love what's going on in Atlanta right now, and I do, and they were on the team that were competitive with New York. I think a lot of teams like what's been going on in Minnesota with Anthony Edwards, folks think he's the next best thing. So out of the East, I would say the Atlanta Hawks. Out of the West, I would say the Minnesota Timberwolves. But like I said, be on the lookout for the Washington Wizards unless they draft Darren Peterson.
We'll be texting each other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Break Forever says Anthony Davis to the Spurs.
Could be, because I've been hearing rumblings of Anthony Davis hasn't played a game in DC yet, but he wants to talk to that front office and see how they're going to try to win now. And if he doesn't like what he's hearing, he might request a trade before he even puts a jersey on. So
is he going to
go?
Is he going? Are you guys going to draft Peterson? Okay,
yeah.
And trade me to Sam.
But at the same time, you look at that won't work either, because the assets that you're going to trade is De'Aaron Fox, and you can't trade a point guard to DC while they already have a point guard. And then Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama will be the scariest front court in NBA history on the defensive side with all of that length.
Yeah.
It is almost virtually impossible to do that, match the salaries up.
Yeah, you're right. That does feel like the perfect fit, though.
Yeah.
Like a guy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening. My Rockets are nowhere to be seen now, are they? They're just gone.
Yeah.
They're in the desert walking around.
Yeah. Durant's going to get traded most likely. We know about that burner account incident, all of that stuff. He was talking to teammates, found out. Not a good look. That's the second time he's done that. Kevin Durant is one of my top 5 favorite players, one of the top 5 best players I've ever seen in my life. But that burner's something else, man. Come on, man. You got to be a little more discreet than that.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. They felt like they were going to have an opportunity to climb and be good, and then they just they're not.
They're not. And for him to only play one playoff game versus the Lakers, it was so disheartening and disappointing, because that's a team that without Luka that you should have beat, and then you should have been playing OKC in the second round. You would have got swept like the Lakers did, but hey, you should have at least made it out of the first round with all the talent in the coaching of making it dope. You guys' coach over there in Houston.
KD to the Spurs, Break Forever says. I mean, something like that it feels like it makes sense.
Could be because Fred VanVleet, he does return for your Houston Rockets next year. But again, it's centered around De'Aaron Fox. So, and that man's contract is insane coming up. The extension doesn't even kick in until next season. So you're going to be paying him $50 million plus over the next 4 years.
I'll never understand these max deals and the money they give out. It's crazy.
Yeah, but in 4 years, this is not going to be even a max contract. You're going to have guys making $600, $700 million in 4 years. Yeah, so TV money goes up again.
Yeah, it's a new deal. That's right. They signed that multi-billion-dollar media rights deal.
Yeah, so these guys are about to be loaded.
Yeah,
about to be baseball competitive for some of these superstars.
Yeah, well, baseball's going to go into a big freeze next year. Yeah. They're not going to have it. They're not going to have a 2027 season. They're going to get a cap and a floor.
Yep. Everybody's tired of the Dodgers. Everybody's tired of the Yankees. Unlimited budget, huh?
Well, I think what finally tipped it was that whole deferred salary crap.
Okay.
Like the Dodgers have like $3 billion they don't have to pay right now, right? They can pay it after 20 years. It's weird.
Yeah, man.
Whatever it is. So, yeah, that's going to happen. But what's up, Darnell? He says KD doesn't care about the regular season. All just wants playoff time. So that's probably true at this point, right?
Could be. Yeah. But he's a guy who loves basketball, so I'm not going to go too far on that hill. What I can say about Kevin Durant is that he absolutely loves basketball. He hates what comes with it, but that man will hoop all day if he can.
Yeah, he does love the game, but maybe not as much as he used to. Well, it was interesting. The Knicks were a worthy champion. I enjoyed watching them. I like them as a team. I love their toughness, man. I love tough teams. You were a tough player. Those are the kind of teams that I can really relate to. I really appreciated watching them play.
Yeah, well, they deserved it. They really do. They deserved it. And they were the best team in the NBA over the last few months. And when you get hot at the right time, and when you have the talent that they have with the coaching of Mike Brown, it's a recipe for success. And look where they got them, their first championship in 53 years. Congratulations to Knicks fan. The drought is over. Hopefully you can rub off on my Commanders Redskins. Please. Please. God, I will do anything to see them in the Super Bowl. Now, you don't understand. Like, man, anything.
And I'm happy for Mike Brown. You know what? Mike Brown's gotten kind of railed at the other places that let him go. Your Lakers being one of those places.
Yeah, that was a Kobe thing. Everybody's talking about LeBron, how he let go in 2007.
Mike Brown's a good basketball coach, man.
He's a really good coach. Yeah, he didn't last long in L.A. at all under Kobe. Man, they got him out of there quick.
I know. Good.
Yeah,
He's good,
and then man. Sacramento, very competitive series. De'Aaron Fox did play well in that series when it was Sacramento and Golden State. But yeah, man, he's found a home. He's good now. He doesn't have to worry about anything in New York.
No.
The Knicks can go 0-82 next season, and the fans won't care because of what happened this season.
It doesn't matter. He'll just walk around the city and wherever he wants to eat. Okay. Yes. Come on over here, Mike. 53 years? Absolutely. What do you want to drink? All the drinks are on us. I agree. Well, good for him. Seems like a good dude. Yeah.
Man.
Wayne asked Keon, if the Commanders win a Super Bowl, will you shave off your beard?
No, I'm not going that far. But I'll trim it. How about that? I'll trim it down. I'll keep a goatee. A good thing we don't got to take that bet, because I think that we're in a situation where that's not going to happen.
Well, let's think about it for just a second now. Think about the sacrifice, right? You're just talking about short-term sacrifices. What would it take you, a month to grow it back?
It wouldn't take long at all, but the problem is they don't know I exist. I know they exist. So I'm doing it for nothing. I'll cut it off, and Jaden Daniels not going to know I cut it off.
No, you can
send him. Not going to know I cut it off. They're going to be like, who's this guy? All right, that's the problem I had.
That's true. Now, it'd be different if they latched onto it on their social media and had you before and after. Yeah, then you'd be all over, man. That's cool. Oh, that's awesome. So Break Forever is a Knicks fan who was born in 72, so he didn't remember the first title.
Right.
Then, boom, he gets one 53 years later. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to ask you. Yeah, of course.
The first, I got to get a shout out to somebody, because there's been 3 influential people to me in my broadcasting career. It's you, it's Trey Wilson, the voice of the Richmond Flying Squirrels, and there's also a guy named, and you know him, Sam Hovan. Sam's not going to be at Longwood next year.
Where's he going?
He's going to Lynchburg. He's going to be a professor at Lynchburg.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, I just want to say thank you to him for everything that he's done for me. He's been unbelievable. He's been a good friend,
Great
a
dude.
guy who I've got to know and learn over the last 3 years. We'll still be calling a few games this year, just not as many as we've been over the last few years. But that guy's been unbelievable to me. The second thing, you got Coach Lynn coming on later.
Yeah,
right?
Coach Lynn's coming on here.
I said congratulations on finding the next point guard from Mount St. Mary's and Red Thompson. They got him. He's a really good point guard. You saw him last year at Longwood. He's a guy who, in my opinion, was the best player on that Longwood roster.
He was good. He was good.
It's unbelievable. Now he's at Mount St. Mary's. He's going to do the same thing over there. He really is.
No, he was good. Okay, I'll do that. I will do that. Morris, and I would love to see you too. We're going to do the bash up here in July. So if you're ever traveling this way, let me know. We'll try to. Okay. Everybody wants to meet you.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Are you much of a bowler?
I'm not, but I'll get out there.
You'll get out there. You don't care.
Absolutely.
Keon will wear an old hog nose like the offensive line on air if the Commanders.
The Hogs. There we go. I'll do that.
Of course you will. Of course you would.
I'll do that.
T-Bird says, would you proclaim MJ as the best of all time in exchange for a Redskins?
That's impossible. I can take another 33 years of not winning. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. There's no way you're going to get me to say that.
That's great. That's great. All right, brother. Great stuff as always. Enjoy your short summer school day.
There we go, man. I told you tomorrow we'll be halfway done already. I appreciate it, buddy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's good. And thanks for the well wishes, and thanks to your mom too.
Yeah, man. We love you, buddy. We appreciate it.
We love you too, man. You know we do. You know we do. And
man.
You have a great rest of the week.
You too, buddy.
All right, brother. Take care. There you go. Keon Brown, the best. Good stuff. Good questions for KB. He will not shave the beard. Yeah, he would wear he'd wear the hog nose. Come on. He's wearing that. Hell, I'd do that just for the heck of it. Damian Sordelette going to join us next. The Virginia Tech football beat writer from the Roanoke Times. Donnie Lynn, and then coming up at 8 o'clock, Matt Roan. If LeBron was community-minded like Shaq, he'd make an instructional video teaching folks how to stop, drop, and roll. That's pretty funny, T-Bird. What's up, Tebow? Eagles Rams ticket in my hand. We speak October 4th. Oh, sweet, man. Good for you. Go Birds. Yeah, that good thing you got it, Tebow. That's going to sell out in a heartbeat. I'm surprised you got it. Good for you, man. You get to go watch Myles Garrett. Would I wear a hog nose during a hog nose? During a live Radford broadcast? I don't know if a hog nose would fit. I'm not a Redskins fan. Let's see. What would I do? What would I do for my team? Of course, I'm a Broncos guy. I don't know what I could wear there. They don't really have anything like that. They had the old barrel man for years who passed away. The guy would show up in the suspenders and he'd wear the barrel and the boots and the cowboy hat. They have a little place for him in the Hall of Fame. Yes, we are bear with those, but that means we're progressing, Morris, as a channel. Yes. The ads become part of the amazing amount of views and rewatches that we get. So bear with the quality of this amazing program for the ads. That's something that is a good thing, and I know. So, yes, it is new, but we have completely destroyed all the metrics with views and repeat views, and that's part of it. So, and that helps me. So bear with it. Hey, baby girl, thank you for subscribing. Subscribe, like, and share. We've had a lot of new people this week. This is great. This is awesome. You get back from honeymoon and you just things are expanding, and we've made some really good announcements coming up. By the way, later today, Blacksburg High School announces its new head football coach at 11 o'clock. We made the announcement that Blacksburg High School football games will be part of this channel coming up. So today at 11. Thanks, Break. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Congrats to your Knicks again. That's awesome. Love lifetime fans being rewarded. Thank you so much, Break. I hope you hang around. Everybody hang around. Like this guy, who he and I got the same haircut. We're great. See, this is me and Davian. What's up, brother? Good morning.
Morning. Welcome back.
Thanks, man. How are you? Now, have you already been? Did you already go on vacation, or are you about to go?
Next week.
Next week. Okay. All right. I couldn't remember. Well, how was your week? What's been going on?
Well, we got to talk to the assistant coaches yesterday.
Yeah, take us through it. I saw that, man. I saw you out there. I saw you interviewing folks with some of the pictures that were taken and stuff. What was some of your impression? What impressed you the most talking to those guys?
Oh, boy. Matt Moore seems to have 12 guys he thinks can contend for a starting spot on the offensive line.
I hope he's right.
Yeah. That includes about 6 who can play tackle. So I asked him how much of a difference is this from this point last year to this year, and he goes, night and day difference. Because last year he had 5, and then it was like, well, who's behind him? And now it's like, oh, who am I going to push out of the starting lineup?
That's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. The other thing I took away was it sounds like Messiah Mickens and Marcellus Hawkins are both healthy at running back, so you're going to have them plus Jeff Overton, and it sounds like Mickens is moving up the board quite a bit on that depth chart. So the one takeaway, I'll say this, every coach said depth chart evolves on a daily basis. They are not setting anything in stone, maybe except quarterback, because Danny O'Brien's poker face said, yeah, we're going to keep the competition going, but it's hard not to have Ethan Grunkemeyer penciled in at QB1 at this point.
No, yeah, Ethan Grunkemeyer is the quarterback of this team. Anything else is just smoke and people looking to try to write something to fill empty pages.
Yeah.
It's just such silly speculation that anything else is going to happen.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah. And I think he's going to be great. I don't know what it is. I saw enough of him last year. And I wanted to ask you again, I think about what I watched, and I watched several of his games. It so happened I was always watching Penn State before I knew any of this was going to happen, right? And I thought, that kid, he has stepped in and he's got some stuff, and now he's here. And I think he could be an all-ACC quarterback. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, agree. I did the math. If you go back, it was the first drive of the Indiana game. So his third start, he threw an interception, and he didn't throw an interception the rest of the season.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I agree with Prometheus. I think Overton is going to be the leading rusher.
That's what Dwight Vick thinks too. He loves Overton. Yeah.
So Norvell McKenzie said Overton's added 18 pounds, and this week when they were testing, he set a personal record for speed and a personal record for bench press.
With the added weight. Wow, that's impressive. To add speed, that's cool.
Yeah, and then I was like, so you guys don't want him just as an outside zone guy. You want him as a guy who can find the crease in the middle of the line and take off. And he goes, yeah, I was actually joking around with this with Coach Franklin earlier, and I was like, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have someone like that? And Overton's filling that role because he got all the reps in the spring. And now Hawkins and Mickens are both healthy, so they're getting the reps here in the summer. But, yeah, I think Overton's he's special.
Feels like it, doesn't it? And I trust Dwight's eye. He's watched this kid since he was a sophomore in high school, and he's been talking about him a while. And it feels like his name is always coming up, right? It's like something about him always seems to make its way into the coach's mindset when you guys are talking to him. So
yeah,
it tells you a lot.
And he passed the eye test against Miami. Well, he and Hawkins both did. They both
They
had
did.
explosive runs, but Overton finding the end zone. Yeah. Uh, Wayne, David Wilson could do some backflips. I don't know if Overton could do some backflips.
Man, I
And
love David Wilson. I love David Wilson. Jeez Louise. He was
yeah,
special.
I saw him his senior year at George Washington in Danville. It was my first year working at the Register and B, and I saw him do like from the 5 yard line. He was gone, and from the 5, he did a front flip into the end zone. Got a flag for it, for excessive celebration. But yeah, he was good, and he was a fantastic track athlete. I don't know if anyone knows how good Wilson was as
Yeah,
a track athlete,
I do. Yeah, yeah.
but Overton also could factor into kick return, because Doug Shear's looking for people who have good straight line speed, and Overton's one of those guys. Now I asked him I'm like, so if Overton's like RB1 and getting a lot of touches, he goes, yeah, we won't use him a lot. So that's, yeah, so it's a good problem to have. You know what you got in Hawkins, you know what you got in Overton, and I think Mickens is not far behind them.
Well, you got to love to hear that, because James Franklin wants to run the football. It's been his MO since he was at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So if you've got that situation and guys who understand that, hey, we're all going to be involved, don't get greedy, try to make the most of your carries. If you're going to have a big year, a decent year here, maybe you have a huge year somewhere else, right? You got to start thinking about that. I like it. And if the offensive line, if he's correct, and I know obviously position coach is going to say things like that, you hope that it's true. That's my only question about that whole offense. I like everything else. If that offensive line, Damian, comes around to me, then sky's the limit on what this season could be offensively, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Logan Howland is 100% after missing the spring. Matt Moore says he's close to 330 now, and for an offensive tackle, that's pretty good. That's a big boy playing there. Garrett's healthy. He said he was nicked up quite a bit during the spring. Justin Terry is also back 100%. He had some pec issue. Justin Bell had some nagging stuff that they said they took some time with to get him healed. So you add those 3 guys at tackle, all with power, all with experience at either the SEC or the Big Ten. That's a good problem to have that type of experience joining in with Aiden Lynch in that rotation. I think those are the top 4, and then you throw in a Lucas Austin, and then he said if you put Johnny Garrett at tackle, that gives you 6. They're going to try Garrett inside. You throw him with Laith Ganem, Brody Meadows, Michael Troutman, Gavin Crawford. Like, you got some depth there. And Moore said Benjamin Ezuka is probably the freshman who could push for playing time because he's here in the spring. And then he said Buddy Wegdam is the freshman who arrived over the summer who is in the best shape. Not sure if they're going to throw him into the fire immediately, but they really like where they're at.
I think Prometheus is right. The Brown kid's definitely going to be a candidate for deep returns, right?
He is.
Returns. Come on.
Yeah. Tyseer Denmark was another one that Shear brought up. Who else did he bring up? Yeah, it's like Brown and Denmark are probably the top guys at punt return.
So defensively, I won't say people are coming out and saying that they don't think they're good, but there's a lot of questions. But Foster kind of made some iterations toward what he saw from the guys, some guys who look good, but they got to find football players schematically. I've heard some other people look at the defense and kind of go, well, they're going to have to really make some pushes here. What were some of the vibes you got from the defensive coaches yesterday about that side of the football?
Just need to be healthy. Nick Perry sounded more optimistic about Jaquez White than Brent Pry kind of did from the injury he suffered at the spring game. Perry still thinks White's going to be one of the starters. and that's a good thing. You need him. He's the type of guy that you need starting at at your boundary cornerback spot. And he mentioned Josh Clark as one of one in the cornerback room. So yeah. And then I know everyone talks about like Quentin Reddish and Tyson Flowers at safety, but a guy that could break into the starting lineup is Knowledge Harrell, who played corner and nickel last year. Anthony Midget said Harrell's base now is at safety, and he does things at safety that fits a lot of what they want to do in this defense. And he has the ability to cover slots, tight ends. He has the ability to have the eye to follow the running back out of the backfield if he tries to sneak out. They really like him, and I think they'll have the ability to get him into that rotation at safety, which I honestly think, and I think Chris has brought this up repeatedly. Harold's got a chance to be big. Linebacker wise, I think Noah Chambers is your starter at Mike. Brent Price says he needs to get more vocal and be, a little bit more solid there. But the one thing I think about is defensive end. That's the one position where you're probably going to have to get the number. You're going to have a group do the work of getting pressure versus having one guy do it this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And it just seems like the defense is in a good spot, but you still got to figure out who's going to be where at this point of the summer, and you got all of camp to figure that out.
Wayne asking, do you think Maryland is the key game, Damian? I know we've talked about that. You're going to handle VMI. ODU's got to be something you got to kind of solve, right? You got to get that done. What about Maryland? That to me, I think I've said it numerous times. That seems to be the one game that everybody's got to look at and got to go, wait a minute. All right. Can't beat Maryland. We're back to the same old type of fears that you had about this program, right?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I was on a podcast earlier this week and said the same thing. Everyone's looking at, do you circle the Cal game? Do you circle like the Georgia Tech game as the first ones? And I'm like, no, you got to circle Maryland because we've mentioned this, and I think it's been said ad nauseum. Virginia Tech hasn't beaten a non-conference Power 4 opponent since the 2017 opener against West Virginia. That's got to change in order to get the program going. And I mentioned that that's something Brent Pry needed to do in order to keep taking the steps into getting this program back to where it once was. So, the one thing about this is James Franklin played Maryland 11 times when he was at Penn State, 4 times in College Park, went 4-0 and when they played at College Park, and all 4 were belt to ass results. So that's something that you get over that hump. You're presumably 3-0 going into league play. That is a big game. Maryland's got a lot of production coming back from a team that went 4-8 and lost 8 straight games to end last season. I know they have Malik Washington. They have 3/5 of their offensive line that started last year. They have a lot of defensive production returning, but again, I don't know how good. I don't know how good they're going to be because they seem to be on a downward trajectory with Mike Loxley. They do well in non-conference play because they don't really schedule anyone tough, and then they get into Big Ten play and they get kind of eaten alive.
I know. He got ranked the poorest. I saw a couple of lists about Big Ten coaches, and he got ranked dead last in both of the polls. So it's one of those deals that kind of reminds me of Mike Norvell. They basically admitted it, right? They were going to fire him. It was announced. There was already a lot of papers up there saying, hey, he's gone. And then they said, wait a minute. Did you see the buyout language? Maybe we should just hang on one more year. So they're basically leaving him there for all the wrong reasons. So you're right. That is a bigger game for him than James Franklin, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Obviously. 100%. 100%.
I can answer Prometheus's question. I can answer Prometheus's question. The top 6 tacklers off Cal's team from last year are gone.
They all transferred or went to the NFL, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That includes their stud linebackers. That includes their top cover corner. That includes their top nickelback. That includes their number 1 and 3 safeties. That's why they had the number 2 transfer portal class in the ACC, because I went through and looked. They signed 34 players, and I think 28 were transfers, and they only signed 4 high school kids. And granted, that's a new coaching staff. He was with Oregon, and they went to, I believe, the CFP semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. So he didn't have time to recruit. So,
and that kid went to BYU, didn't he? I think. Yeah,
you're correct.
Yeah. What's his name? What was his name? He was good. He was good.
I can't. There's
number 4, right, or something like. He had a weird number.
There was a Cade Olvaldi and there was a Luke Ferrelli, who were the top 2 linebackers.
Yeah, the first one. I think it was the first one. Yeah, that you mentioned. He was good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We had some more questions for you. People love to ask Damon. Damon's great. He always answers questions. Oh, sleeper candidate for someone to break it on defense, Brandon asks.
Knowledge Harrell.
There you go. He was very definitive, Brandon. He didn't hesitate, brother. Why do you like him? What is it about him?
Like I mentioned earlier, Anthony Midget likes his skill set at safety in this defense, because you can do a lot of things with him with his cover corner skills. And the one thing about Knowledge Harrell is his back's not going to be to the quarterback when the ball's being thrown. And that's an issue that they had with the safeties last season. Harrell's fast enough. He's got good instincts. You're not forced to play at corner or nickel as a freshman if you're not good enough. And I know body-wise, Tech needed it last year because they had some injuries. But he's good. So I think he's going to be someone who this year has a chance to really step up and make a play. And I don't think anyone's going to talk about him right now, because everyone, from a safety standpoint, all the coaches say it's Quentin Reddish, and they really like Tyson Flowers as a leader. But I think Knowledge Harrell is going to be that guy who steps in.
This has become a popular question today. All right. Do you have a favorite NFL team?
If I could wear my Redskins hat, yeah, I would. But yeah, Commanders.
Would you shave your beard? If you knew the Redskins were, I'm sorry, Commanders is so stupid. Washington was in the Super Bowl. Would you shave your beard for Washington to win another Super Bowl?
I would, but my wife wouldn't let me. She has seen me with my face. She says I have a baby face when I shave this, and she does not want me to shave it. So
it only lasts, 2 weeks? Would it be worth 2 weeks for you to be in just bliss, right? With your team hoisting the Lombardi again, right? When was the last time? 94? 93? 93?
Yeah,
92?
Yeah, it was.
When did y'all beat the Bills? January of 92 with 91 season? Was that?
Yeah, I think so.
Mark Rypien.
It was after. Yeah, because they beat the Broncos, I believe. It
was the Bills.
Yeah,
it was the Bills.
They also beat the Broncos in that stretch when they won 3.
That was the strike year, 87.
Yeah.
That was that was the strike year. Yeah. I still think Joe Gibbs, what he did, and you'll agree, is the most amazing feat in the NFL that nobody talks about, because no other coach has won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
I don't think anybody talks about that nearly enough. Right?
Well, yeah, it helps when you have the Hogs and you have running backs like they did.
But he adjusted everything for those quarterback strengths.
He did. And those defenses were good. Those defenses were very good.
God rest in peace, Monty Coleman. I love Monty Coleman. I hate that. I hate to see that he passed away. Yeah. But you go from Joe Theismann, you go from Doug Williams, you go to Mark Ripien. I mean, that's impressive, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But in any event. But anyway, Tebow asks, just throwing it out there, but would my cousin Brandon Hall be considered for AD?
Are we referring to the athletic CFO? Is that the same one? If he's good with money, you might as well just keep him there. I'm surprised he didn't create a position where he could be on the board of Hokie Ventures.
Yeah, he worked at Radford for a while. Got to know him at Radford. Yeah, Brandon did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
No, I think they're probably looking for someone with AD experience at this point. And
correct. Yes, they are. That is correct.
But I mean, we hadn't talked since Hokie Ventures got passed, and
that's true.
The fact that you now have something stabilized with, Wayne, I don't think there's any smoke signals yet. I'm surprised. I thought this would be done. I think this will be done in about 2 weeks. I think July 31st or June 31st might be June 30th. Sorry.
Yes, it will be
June 31st.
It will be very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Franklin doesn't like to work slowly, and if he's on that committee, he is pushing for candidates or pushing to make a selection. But yeah, I haven't heard anything. They're being pretty tight-lipped. There's probably a reason Franklin wasn't made available to us yesterday is because a lot of us would be asking about the AD search, and he probably doesn't want to give away too much right now. And there's a reason why they say he's been very busy. It's because he's part of this committee. I mean, the recruiting stuff that they're doing, the camps that they're holding, and the fact that everyone's getting away for vacation after this weekend means, try to get a lot of stuff in before everyone gets out of town for a few days.
Yeah. July starts. July, you're back into it, man. Yeah. June is the end of June, and then you get into July. Boom! It's time to rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, it's a little different because Pry would give his coaches vacation time in July, just to kind of get that break in there. Franklin's a little different. They're doing a good job of getting them vacation time just to the rest of the month.
I am, Wayne. That's exactly right. Extra bacon jerky, steak. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be part of my contract negotiation. It would be.
Hey, if I could do a contract negotiation, guarantee myself a ribeye dinner every day, I'd be thrilled.
You're there, right? I mean, yeah, I'm here. There's my steak. Let's go. Let's go.
Give me a ribeye every day. I'll be happy.
I'll be happy. So you'll be gone next week.
Correct.
All right. Remind me of that because I'll probably send you hey, no, Rick, remember, you idiot. I'm not here. So where are you going? Where are y'all going again? You going to the beach?
Not going anywhere this week since my wife is teaching summer school. In July, I think we're going to Biltmore for a few days.
Oh, sweet.
Down in Asheville. Her school is actually doing a field trip down to the Biltmore. And one of the people there was like, hey, give you a couple free tickets to come this summer just to see what it's like. And I was like, so how much is a ticket? And she goes, normally it's like $100-something. I was like, oh, we get those for free. I'll go with you. So she's never been to Asheville. The only times I've been to Asheville are for the Big South basketball tournament.
You're covering the Big South.
And I never got to experience Asheville, so this will be fun to get a chance to experience that. So
leave your sobriety at home. They've got a lot of nice spots down there.
Oh, I know. I got to look in envy when I was there working because I was like, well, I can't partake because I'm technically working, but if I ever go back, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I strongly, if you're ever like getting some, a little bit of problem, let's say you decide to shave off your beard and your wife gets mad, Emerald Island, oh my Lord, it's a beautiful spot, man. If you're of the beach mind and you want to get up a non-hassle situation. So,
yeah, I like the beach. My wife is of the Anakin Skywalker of it just gets everywhere and it's so coarse and I hate it. And I'm like, you sure you've never watched Star Wars before? Because that sounds exactly like that.
she secretly has this. She's part of like fan club you don't know about for Star Wars.
Probably. Or I've watched so much of it, she's probably gotten it by, a nurse or something. Like, it's probably like she hears it, not watching it, and then all of a sudden she just says it, and it's like, I've never watched that. Oh, yeah, you have. You just see it around me all the time.
Exactly. Hey, we're starting Big Dog Pop tomorrow night, separate from this show, so you should join. It's just we're talking about stuff like that, pop culture, so it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be on tomorrow night 6:30.
Right.
I'll let everybody know more. Yeah. We're just gonna put people on the screen. Doesn't matter who you are, we're just gonna put you on the screen. So it'll be fun.
All right.
Yep. All right, man. Have a great rest of the day. Appreciate you, DS. All right, man. If I don't talk to you, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So
2 weeks. All right.
All right. Be good, man. There you go.
Peace.
Damian Sordelet. Good stuff. We just keep it rolling. This is fun. You get back in here. Now we got Donnie Lynn coming up. Good Lord. Let me send him his invite here. We already mentioned our sponsors, but I'll mention them again here coming up while we wait for Coach Lynn. Takes a little while to send these invites here. Prometheus and Tebow, the answer to your questions are yes. About the athletic director position. Donnie Lynn and then Matt Roan coming up at 8 o'clock. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios. 540-200-8294, familyfencingandrv.com. Get a quote today. Thank you, Jason Green. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic Clinic, cracking your back in all the best ways possible. 155 Walters Drive, sponsor of our chat room. We're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Thanks to Tim and Jonathan. Stacey Compton going to be back on with us next week. Talk more about the racetrack. The River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. The attorney Ryan Pry, BDST fan question of the week, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. We already had it answered, Mike. It was Brent Sorsby. Would he take a snap in 2026? Well, he took care of that of himself Monday night. I'm out. NRA Super Bowl, man, oh man, they got a lot of great things coming up. The 4th of July specials we talked about. And then what I think is really cool, they're getting involved with the community about this bowling for backpacks that's going to come your way on the 27th of June, starting at 10 a.m. All the proceeds go to support the Stuff the Bus program. Game time at the Super Bowl. Terry and Amanda. And that's where we're going to have our bash. Always great about the community. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, 540-381-8011. Installation for your parts, plumbing, doors, windows, you name it. ReadySetFund.com is Bob Christ, BOBCRST11 at Gmail. Your organization and your group can earn lots of money. Sundown Electric, excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients to attest to superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, clear communication. They're down in Elliston. The Smith brothers continuing what their father created, much like Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor of our text line that's always blowing up. 391-0788. Travis Williams, year 39 coming up in July. Just 10 days or so away. We're going to have some cool things to pass along there. Appreciate them. National Bank, my exclusive banking partner, member FDIC, should be your exclusive banking partner. Terrific folks. They've helped me out so much over the last 6 months or so, especially when I've needed them the best. There's Louise Baker, who brings you Mike Burnup, Farm Bureau Insurance, from Marty and Rags, Top Shelf Apparel. My Lord, we need more sponsors, but hey, that's what we do. Do I think Sorsby got cashed out? I did see they're going to let him keep his money. Did you see that? I did see that, which I thought was very interesting. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. There we go. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And I thank everybody for all their wonderful comments about the marriage. And if you get a social media request from me, it's legit. I'm trying to build back the following on the BDST Facebook page, Instagram. So if you get anything from me, it's legit. Remember, I got hacked a couple weeks ago. It's been a living hell trying to get everything fixed again. Great stuff from Keon. Great stuff from Damien. David Smith tomorrow. Our NFL correspondent, Andy Bitter, Ron Shelburne, and Dwight Vick. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The 4 guests today, the guests tomorrow, so Rick Watson feet pics were legit. Wait a minute. Those got released? What? Those made it? It was the Emerald Isle Beach Air, Wayne. That's what did it. All right. I believe I see Coach in the green room. There he is. Donnie Lynn joining us. What's up, Coach? How are you, man?
Hey, how are we doing? I'm doing good. Congrats, officially.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, look at you.
Growing up, Coach. I'm growing.
Wonders never cease.
Growing up a little bit. How's it going for you? How's your summer? How's the fam? How's everybody? Everybody good?
We're doing well. Yeah, doing well. We're ramping up a little bit right now. School's over for the kids, and now school's about to start back up for our adopted kids coming in for summer workouts.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what people don't understand, right? With the rules changing, you're getting ready to get back into it, aren't you? With the team going to be here. And that's exciting, isn't it? All the new guys
it is
coming back.
It is. You know, there's a lot of work in the spring for college basketball coaches, more than there's ever been, to build a roster and put a team together at every level. You know, it's not a mid-major problem. It's an everybody has this time. And then there's this, I've had 2 or 3 weeks of like downtime between when we signed our team and when summer school starts. And there's a lot of anxiety of like, did we bring good players in? I think we did. I really like the guys. They're the right type of people, they seem like. I think they're good. But there's a lot of new faces that are going to have to, be asked to carry a big load. And so to get them here and get to work with them. And, we talk a lot about player development and getting our players better and spend a lot of time. But we need we need to spend some time on player assessment. We got to assess where we're at and what our strengths are going to be and what are the things that we can make progress on with player development. So it's an exciting time to get back in the gym with these guys.
Now, I know I asked you before, but what was the total haul? How many new kids did you have to go out and bring in this year?
We brought in 8. We brought in 4 transfers and 4 freshmen.
That's a really good mix, isn't it? In this climate, that's really well done right there.
Yeah, we're excited about it. One of the freshmen's a little older. He's an international kid, but the other 3 are traditional high school freshmen. And then, 4 older guys. And we were fortunate to bring back, 5 guys that were in our rotation, 1 starter, and then, 4 other guys that played a decent amount for us. So excited about the group we have, just really excited to get to work with them.
Well, and Keon Brown wanted me to pass along. Of course, he wants to congratulate you on the Longwood transfer. Your point guard,
Mm-hmm.
He says, and he's a good one. You know that. I watched him last year, man. That was a good get. No doubt about it.
He looked good in the Dedmon Center that day. That's for sure.
Yes, he did. So to take us through it now, this is cool. I know how you are, but people may not know. So what's some of the things you're focused on with the new guys as soon as they get here?
Yeah, so guys start coming in today, and They got to do medical and all that stuff and get cleared. So we can't get on the court with them until Monday. And so it's a great time for me because I to spend time really starting to get to know them, trying to get we got 8 new guys coming in the next or 7 coming in the next couple of days. And so try to grab a meal with a couple of them at a time and spend some time with them. And, again, start to get to know them a little bit better, start to build that relationship that we're going to be able to build throughout the year, get them adjusted to each other, start to, get to know each other. We'll do a couple activities with them just to start to build that piece. And then, then we'll be on the court with some small group workouts and weight room stuff, starting on Monday, and try to keep them in small groups a little bit here the first few weeks where we can, again, really assess where they're at, figure out, what things they need to adjust and then what things we're going to need to adjust. We have the way we want to play and there's some things that aren't going to change and we've recruited to that, but then there's also some wiggle room for the strengths of our players. And so trying to figure out just what those are and, how we can best utilize the gifts and talents that they have.
Well, and you'll do a great job, you and your staff. But, of course, you have guys who are going to be first-year, half the class, first-year collegiate players coming in, and everything's going to be, hey, wide-eyed. And then you got the other guys who, okay, I've been there before. So I guess managing those two different types of mindsets coming in is something that's just so constant, the evolution right now.
No doubt. And we'll compete a lot this summer. We'll play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and 5-on-5, just to, kind of help everyone understand that I don't care if you're a freshman or if you've been doing this before, if you can win and show and consistently, help us win, then you're going to get opportunities on the floor. And so try to establish that mindset early, that we do value guys that care about winning and do the things that go into winning. And that I think, whether you're a freshman or whether you've been doing it for a while, you like to get between those lines and put a score on the scoreboard and see who wins. And so, those type of guys do really well for us.
Did you I know obviously guards are always big, but how big was size consideration when we went out and started to piece your class together with your returning players from last year?
Yeah. We brought back one forward, everybody else that we brought back was a guard. And so we knew we needed to get some bigs. The market for bigs is crazy in today's day and age. So, we went international at the 5 and took a traditional transfer at the 4. And so we felt like because we had a 5-man coming back, a backup 5-man coming back, who, if he does what he's supposed to do, he's going to have a chance to be a starting 5-man. We felt like we could take someone that was maybe a little bit less known quantity there, at the 5. And for where the market is, it's a little bit easier for us to go international there at the 5. And then, at the 4, we wanted to try to get somebody that we knew could produce at the Division I level, at our level. And so got a transfer from Drake, who we signed, who I think is going to be a really good player for us, who plays the 4. And so, yeah, we'll get to work with that. And then 2 of our high school kids that we brought in were bigs. And that's part of my philosophy is I want to bring in high school forwards. I think they need time to develop anyway. And you can bring them in, you can get them in your system. They're very rarely going to leave after 1 year unless they're, freshman of the year type of kid. So if they're a developmental big or a big who plays sparingly, you can build that relationship and get them ingrained in your system and at least get a couple years out of them. And so that was a big part of our high school recruiting class was to bring in a couple bigs who we feel like we can develop into good players over the course of the next couple of years.
Do you feel like the international influence is going to continue to be such a major proponent of this? I mean, it's just going to be something that's going to continue to build given the climate, like you're saying, with how recruiting's going with the portal?
Yeah, I think there's always been, as long as I've been coaching, there's been international kids.
Yeah.
But there's, this age-based eligibility model that's coming in this year will curb some of the, older professionals that are going into these high majors schools and coming in as and jumping right in and being, top tier players because they've been playing pro for 4 or 5 years, and they're 23, 24 years old. Some of that will get curbed. But the young, developing pro, kid who left home at 16 and went, to a pro team, a club team, and, started working his way up that way. Those guys are choosing to come over instead of, taking a low-paying entry-level job in Europe because the money's similar and they can get the educational piece and they can, get exposure at the highest level. And then there's the upside, right? If you come to this level and you're a 20-year-old French 6'10" kid and you play well, you're not making a ton of money playing at Mount St. Mary's or Radford or someplace like that. You're making money, but you're not making life-changing money. But if you play well, now you've exposed yourself to a new market of suitors that could potentially open up opportunities for you. So those guys are certainly intrigued by coming over where maybe 5 or 10 years ago some of those kids wouldn't because they could just get started in the pro ranks overseas.
Well, it's similar, Coach, when I talk to you, and, we have Todd Grantham on, the defensive coordinator at UAB, who's been everywhere. He's been in the SEC, he's been in the NFL. I mean, and he's looking at it the same way, right? Guys who will come there, look, you come here, we're going to develop you. You want to get to a different level. We want you here. We'd love for you to stay. We understand you might not, but if you want to get to a certain threshold, let us develop you and coach you, right? And I love your mindset's very similar to Todd's. Instead of like looking at this thing with resentment and like, how dare you want to maybe move on? You're like, no, this is an opportunity. You're there for the progression of the young people. And that's something I know you value a whole lot because the relationships are very, very important, not just what they can do immediately for you, but also how you can help them, after they leave Mount St. Mary.
Yeah. I mean, all of us, none of us got here where we are on our own. We all have people who helped us get where we want to go. And at some point we had to leave those people and go out on our own and branch out on our own. And, it's changing. Right. And like you said, you can sit here and be bitter and say, well, these kids are money hungry and they just want to use your place to get to the next place. And, most of the players are not like that. Sit down and talk to them and have a real conversation with them. You and I are fortunate we get to do that. That's not who most of them are. Yes, they have high aspirations of being really good players and playing at the highest level. And, I have aspirations of coaching at the highest level. And so we can be, we can be pretty transparent in our conversations, and say, hey, if the kid from Longwood comes to us and has a great year and decides and opens up opportunities for himself at the end of the year that we can't compete with, right? And he can go and make $1 million somewhere, who am I, first of all, to stop him from doing that? Second of all, would I be an idiot not to then go to the next kid and say, hey, look what this kid just did.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now maybe I can get an even better player to come in because he sees the pathway of saying, oh, Mount St. Mary's, they do a great job in player development. Their system is great for showcasing, the talent of a guard or a forward or whatever the player is. And, and now, and they've had a track record of winning and helping players move on to pro, helping players move on to high major. And, there's, we can't we might as well leverage what we have going for us. And so it's different. It's changed. But players have always had the desire to play at the highest level. They've always had the desire to make money playing basketball. A lot of times they just had to wait to go pro to do that.
Yeah.
And fans got the benefit of those players staying there while they developed that. Someone like Carleek Jones, who, we had the privilege of being around for 4 years, 3 of those he got to play. And, and yes, that was awesome. And it was great to watch him develop and to see his growth and maturity over the years and to become a player that was as good as he was, his last year at Radford. But, as great as that was, that's probably unlikely, to happen again. It is. And, but the next Carleek that's at Radford can still be freshman of the year. He can still hit a game-winning shot as a freshman to send you to the NCAA tournament. And you can still have those memories which are some of the best ones we have in the time we had with them. At least the memories on the court happened during that freshman year. So, those things are still there. There's still, and the players are still invested in the place that they're at.
Absolutely.
I think, that's a bad rap that a lot of kids get, is that, oh, well, they're not really all in while they're there. They're just worried about the next job. And I have not seen that at all. We've had players leave and go to high major schools and go to big schools and get lots of money when they leave us. And not one of those guys has had one foot out the door while the season's going on, while they're playing with us. They've been really committed to trying to help us win, trying to help us be the best team we could be, to be good teammates with their guys in the locker room, try to pull those guys along. And, some of that comes down to the guys that you recruit, but some of it comes down to the culture that you have in your program and the way that you build it. And, I think, that's going to continue, even though, there's going to be opportunities down the road for players.
And players talk, and they know you're going to be true to your word. Coach told me this, and I would not have any hassles. He helped me so much in my journey through his program to the next, right? And that just shows people, okay, Coach Lynn and that staff, they're not just telling us things we want to hear. They're doing the things they tell us. And that means so much, man. There's so little value on people's word nowadays. That means a lot, doesn't it? It really does.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, Coach Jones said it to me when I got to Radford, and I say it, to our staff now, like, someday, unfortunately, we're probably going to get fired because we don't win enough games. But the way we treat our players is going to, you'll be able to put your head on the pillow at night and go to bed and close your eyes that night and be okay with the work that you did. Because, we were true to our word. We did hold up our end of the bargain with these guys and try to get the most out of them and push them. And, at the end of the day, yeah, you're going to win some games. You're not going to win some games. But the way you treat people, the way that players feel as a part of your program, the way they feel when they leave, that says who you are as a program, who you are as a person and a leader. And that's how I judge myself. My boss might not, my AD, my boss might not always judge me that way. But that's how we judge our program. And I think that's why we have success on the floor. I think those things go together. I think when you treat people the right way, when you give them autonomy to be successful, when you push them and help them grow and develop, they're gonna perform their best. And it's hard work, and it's not always easy to do that. But I think it's attributed to some of the success that we've had, and we're going to continue to do it that way.
You don't have football to deal with from the president's office on down, but how has the evolution gone? The adaptation to the new ways. We see business conducted in college athletics from your school's point of view. The cohesion, I guess, between campus and the athletic department.
Yeah, the Mount's a special place when it comes to athletics. When it comes to men's basketball, especially, the history and tradition that we have. It's central to the way our alums feel about the university. It's central to the way the university is viewed as a whole in the community. We have unbelievable community support. And so, although the president got there, we started about the same time. He got hired a little before I did. So he was involved in hiring me. The AD's only been there a year longer than I have, but they understood really quickly that the Mount's a basketball place. And so they've been willing to, within reason, adapt and give us the resources that we need in order to, have a successful program in the newly named Metro Conference, no longer the MAC.
That's right.
Metro. And so we, they're not going to be unrealistic. They're not going to give us things that we don't have as a university. They're not going to make promises they can't keep, but they are going to put systems in place and give me areas that I can go to try to give us a competitive roster and help us build a team in a way that will compete. And I think they did a great job this year in setting that up. And then I believe that our staff managed it well and, brought in a good roster that will give us a chance to compete. And, like I said, I'll know a lot more in a month or so after we've been with these guys a little bit. But it's exciting time. It's a great time to be at the Mount. It is. We got great leadership. Yes, every small private university right now in the country is dealing with, this enrollment stuff and what comes with that. But we have the right people in charge. Our president is enrollment focused. That's his background. And so he's doing a great job of getting us ready and prepared for this time. And so, it's a time that we can still be successful at a school that loves and cares about basketball.
Wayne asking, did you have summer camps this year? Are they still to come?
Oh, they're still to come. We got one that starts not next week, the week after. And then one at the end of the summer. So we got 2 weeks of summer camp for the little kids. Great time, as always, to get youngsters running around, get our guys interacting with the young people who look up to them. So much fun. It's one of those things that people forget about. That's kind of how we can serve in the community and give an outlet to kids and parents who, I remember as a kid, getting to go to camp and rubbing shoulders with these guys who are like literally giants compared to the kids. And it's a mid-major basketball player, but it might as well be Jalen Brunson or
That's right.
Karl Anthony Towns in town here, and so it's really cool for them.
Well, and speaking of the Knicks, I know you appreciated the way they played. I did. I actually got into it. They were a throwback to me, man. They played defense. Remind me of some of your teams at Radford with Coach Jones, man. Dedicated to defense. And Brunson, wow. I mean, I never saw him developing into this, but wow, what a terrific player to watch. They were fun to watch. They were fun.
Fortunate. My dad's from the Bronx. I grew up a Knicks fan. Had not seen any level of success that I can remember in my life, and so it's been fun to watch the last couple of years, and then to culminate like this, and to see the culture that they've built in that organization, to hear the way those players talk about each other, the way they talk about sacrificing for each other, and how loose that they're able to keep it but still have such a focus, and then like you said, be so defensive minded and hungry and gritty, and to be able to play against another team that is as physical as them, and find ways to be successful was a ton of fun to watch. And we provided a lot of good material for us coaches too, in those press conferences, and saved a lot of clips that'll be used throughout the year, I'm sure, with our team. And when it's your team winning, that's always fun too. So unfortunately, my parents just retired and moved to North Carolina. Otherwise, I'd probably be heading up to the parade tomorrow with my dad. But with them being out of town now, it's a little bit too much of an undertaking.
Yeah, we had a new viewer. He's a lifelong Knicks fan. He's going to be at the parade tomorrow, so he was excited.
That's awesome.
That. So that's awesome. 53 years, man. That's a long time. Wow, 53 years for champion. And finally, I love, by the way, the switch to the old Metro, getting rid of the MAC, because you can't share the MAC. You're the Metro now. And in fact, I grew up a fan of the old Metro right here in the area or down the road with Dale Solomon and Keith Lee and all those. Growing up watching that league, that's cool they were able to get that name. That's great for your league, I think.
I think so. I think it helps us with helps us in recruiting. It helps us stand out a little bit more in when the broadcast comes on. There's never as much as we don't want to admit it, we were the other MAC. We don't have football, right. And we have 2 A's, so we were the other MAC. And so you go recruiting in. I grew up in Ohio, so same. I was in the other MAC's country. So like I have recruiting contacts there. I go back home. I want to recruit a kid, and I say, "Oh, we're in the MAC," and they're like, "Oh, you're in that league with Akron and Toledo," and it's like, "No, we're in the other MAC." And so now, and plus, when you're in Emmitsburg, Maryland, Metro is not the first thing that comes to mind. So it's a nice little pitch to some recruits to remind them that we're not that far away from metro areas, Metro DC, Metro Baltimore. So it is funny to do, but no, we're excited about it. The rebrand, I think, is going to be strong for the league. It's going to be strong for the teams in the league, and like I said, where we're positioned in the country, in the landscape of conferences. I think it helps us.
No, I love it. I think it sets you apart. Like you said, it does kind of recreate your identity. I like that. I think it was I saw that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I wanted to make sure I asked you about that. So that's good. That's good. Well, man, thanks for coming on. It's great to catch up with you. And I know you're excited about the summer program. I mean, it's going to be great. I'll get to meet some of the new guys here at Radford as well next week. So it's here, man.
Do we want to break some news? Are we going to break some news over here, Rick? I know I mentioned it to you the other day.
Oh, that's right. Breaking news.
I'm probably not supposed to do this, but it's okay. The contract has been signed. The Mountaineers are going to be coming to Blacksburg in the fall to play the Hokies. So I believe it's November. Now if I'm going to break news, I got to actually be able to break it. I believe it's the 13th, Friday the 13th. The Mountaineers are coming down.
There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the Mount will be in Blacksburg. So Coach Lynn will have a separate autograph session if you want to come shoot around.
Hopefully the Highlanders are in town so we can get you over there. But we'll be there. We'll bring the team down and see what we got.
No, I got to be there. I got to be there. Can I be the special like end of the bench towel guy or something? Could I?
For sure. Done. That's the easiest give I can have right there. You have a jersey. You can put it on.
I was going to say, can I just wear the jersey? I don't want you going down the sideline and going, Watson, come on.
Sure. Things would have to be going either really well or really poorly for me to do that.
Yeah, agreed. Probably really poorly. Yeah, probably really poorly. Well, that's great news. There you go. That's good. I know you worked very well with Coach Byers on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be great.
No doubt.
We'll be playing that up as we get closer. So there you go. Breaking news here on the program.
Maybe I can go in studio. Maybe I can go in studio on that Friday morning.
I think that's got to happen. There's no question about it. No question about it. All right, man. Awesome. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Congrats on everything, man. And good luck getting the guys together and starting to blend all these ingredients for the 2017. So
thanks, Rick. Great to see you, and congrats again. We'll talk soon.
Thanks again, brother. Take care, man. Take care. Good stuff. Coach Land, breaking news here on the program. Going to be in Blacksburg Friday the 13th, November 13th. Be there. I'll be there. If I can be there, I'm going to be there. Watch me be traveling. I'll probably be in who knows where I might be. Yeah, I'm going in at the 5. Yeah, I'll do that. If I can get on the end of the bench, I'll be there, man. I mean, I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll do whatever it takes. Stay out of the way. I could be the guy who make sure the stools are organized, Like if, the coaches put the stools out there and bring them on the court, I could be that guy. Matt Rohn joining us here coming up, Director of Athletics at James Madison. Great conversation with Coach Lynn. And that gives you some insight right there. I know you do, but I appreciate so much learning as we go. And that the adaptation of the way things are at a place like that. We hear it from Coach Grantham and you hear it from Coach Lynn. It's shows you how business is done now, how it has to be done. It's good to hear how the Mount has embraced it. They are at a basketball rich traditional place. It's great stuff, man. But how about that, man? Mount St. Mary's coming to Blacksburg to take on Virginia Tech.
My. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
It really was. Exciting stuff. Yeah, it is. It's a great peak. It's an education about how things are going, whether you pull for a mid-major, one of the Power Fours, all these things. And to get that kind of insight, it's invaluable. It's great stuff. Speaking of insight, joining us now on the program, it's Matt Rohn, Director of Athletics for the James Madison Dukes. What's going on, Ronnie? Good to see you, Tater.
It's good to see you. How you been?
Good, man. I'm a married guy now. How about that?
Who in the world did you convince to marry you?
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. I know, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Yeah.
I hope it went well. I saw the pictures. I hope it went well. I hope everything was good.
Yeah. Emerald Isle is a terrific spot. I don't know if you've been there. You've been everywhere. You're an everywhere man, but it is very nice. That's a good spot. That's a good spot. If you and your wife ever want to go to a little beach spot that's not crowded, but has everything you want, That's the spot right there.
Good deal.
That's the spot. How you been, man? What's going on? We're in June. We're getting close to late June now. I mean, these times for athletic directors are they never stops, right? But what kind of things now are you kind of focusing on a little bit right now?
Yeah, we're obviously I think putting a year to bed and getting ready for a new one. You look up and it feels like it was 2 days ago that you kind of look up and you say, hey, we're 3 months away from that home football opener. All of a sudden you blink and you're 2.5 months away from that home football opener. And some of our fall sports, right, women's soccer, the kind of the start date has moved up, and so summer continues to get shorter and shorter. But for us, it's an opportunity, I think, to catch our breath a little bit, but obviously to plan and prepare for what's to come. And we were encouraged by this year, right? The CFP was a big deal, a volleyball regular season championship, women's basketball making the tournament, lacrosse going to the tournament, beating Notre Dame in the first round, losing to the eventual national champion in the second round. So fall, winter, spring, I thought we had a pretty good year, but there's a lot of meat left on the bone, and we're ready to do it again in 26, 27 and see what's possible here. But really kind of looking out even beyond this upcoming year. So kind of going through some strategic planning stuff, going through some branding stuff. How do we capitalize on the momentum? How do we capitalize on the popularity? How do we become, even more of a national brand than we already are? And so a lot of work going on, but work that doesn't necessarily have a tomorrow deadline. We can look out into the future just a little bit more.
How much more of that, Matt, has become? I mean, you've always been very good and very leery about, you've known about the marketing, but how much more does that come into play now, right? With everything else, with everything getting more expensive, rosters, program building, to go out and capitalize, like you mentioned, on the CFP play.
Yeah, I heard somebody say it the other day, and I've really kind of taken it to heart, but we're in an era of more. And the reality is every year it gets more expensive, right? Your rosters. We all thought, well, when rev share and third party NIL is introduced, then coaching salaries and staff salaries might go down. They haven't. They get more expensive. You always said that, hey, the new arms race will be talent management. It won't be facilities. It's not. It's not an or, it's an and. And so I think because we're in this era of more, and because, you do have these very meaningful, very important things that you're trying to invest in to make sure that your programs continue to be successful, right? I think it's resources and it's facilities, and making people feel appreciated. You always have to be out there, right? We're trying to close a fiscal year with, and we already have, right? But it's how far can we go on that record? But we're going to have more people give more money than they ever have before to JMU and JMU athletics. Our sponsorships are going to be higher now than they ever have been before, right? But how can we work with our third-party partner to make sure that guarantee continues to go up in a record-setting fashion every year? We moved a lot of tickets this year, as you might imagine. How can we continue to do that more? But I think even the benefit goes beyond just athletics, right? We've talked about it a lot, just the visibility, the front porch notion. Almost 50,000 applications for a 5,000 student freshman class. How can we continue to, make ourselves known up and obviously first and foremost in the Valley, in the Commonwealth, but really neighboring states, mid-Atlantic. You're always trying to do more. And I think for us, Rick, it's everybody knows JMU. Right. But what does everybody, so when they see it, I think they recognize those three letters, right? But do they know what it means? Everybody talks about brand. Brand is different than a logo, right? A logo is our three letters. It's our Duke dog. But our brand is, it's still going to be blue collar, but how can we say we're aggressive, we're cutting edge, we're embracing modern technologies, still, blue collar, all that sort of stuff. That's the exercise that we're going through right now and how we're always trying to evolve.
Now, you, of all your many strengths as an athletic director, you've always been terrific at the forefront of raising money. I mean, you've been all over that, and you've raised record revenue wherever you've gone. How are you seeing that trend go now with donors and people like that? I'm not asking for specific numbers, but the kind of response and things when people are recognizing what's going on in college athletics.
Yeah, you hear a lot about fatigue, right? And we've been very fortunate here that, again, the way I kind of capture it is more people have given more. And I am a big believer that everybody doing everything that they can, that's what moves the needle for us, right? And some people, that might be $75 a year to the Duke Club. Some people, that might be several hundred thousand or several $1,000,000, right, for a endowment or for a capital gift, right, to a facility. And so it is very important to me, and I think this is probably where I come from, right, is that every single person feels attached to this place, right? If you can't even give, right, come to a game. If you can come to multiple games, come to multiple. If you can come for a season, come for a season. If you can't come to a game, if you live far away from here, wear a t-shirt, right? Do what you can to help us be successful. And I think we've communicated that appropriately. I think people do feel connected to the place. You know, when we're talking about ticket prices, when we're talking about concessions prices, I never want to do anything at the expense of the people that built this place, right? And so you have to be very, very, very mindful of, you know, how can we be respectful as not to abandon, right? I never want people to feel like, hey, I just can't do it anymore. And so, you know, even this year going through our football renewals, you know, it is incredibly rare to have a 90% renewal rate. Very hard to do. We were about 90, 91, 92%.
Wow.
And I care about, the 90% is great, right? I always ask the question, well, tell me about the 10, right? I want to know who's not coming. It's parents whose kids have moved on, who are not here. They're just physically not able to come. So that says that we're doing, I think, the right things. We're being respectful. People are having a good time when they're coming into our buildings. But to me, raising money is about casting a vision, right? So we know where we're trying to go. And it's about authentic, real relationships. I never want people to think that it's a transaction. I try to really create meaningful, authentic, personal touches, personal connections with the people that are giving so much to this place. And I can tell by their generosity how they feel about this place, right? How they feel about me. And I hope they know how much I appreciate them.
Well, that's cool. I mean, to hear that kind of renewal rate, that's outstanding. I mean, that's wow.
We're in a good spot.
You're in a good spot. Well, I mean, look who's leading the charge. I'm not surprised at all. All right, I got to get your opinion about something nobody wants to talk about, but I'm going to anyway, because I've been very bothered by this whole Brendan Sorsby situation. I think everybody has been. I believe Texas Tech butchered this thing in every way possible. I know you want to support the kid, but gambling kid who's admitted on it. I want to get your thoughts about that. I know it's something you never want to have to deal with as an athletic director, but did you think about how, when you watch something like that happen, Matt, do you put yourself in that situation? What if that were at my program, and how you would have to handle it? I'm so glad it resolved itself. We're finally, he's out. But what was some of your thoughts about how that whole thing kind of evolved?
Well, I actually really like Kirby Hocutt, the AD at Texas Tech. We were introduced by a mutual friend 4, 5, 6 years ago. I really like him. I think he's a great administrator by all accounts, a good guy, a good AD. But I will say I disagreed with him on this topic. That said, right, I don't envy the position that he was in, because you do have an obligation as the AD, right? You have a president, you have a board chair, in his case, a very influential board chair, and really kind of a mega booster that I think is very involved. But I would like to think that, in a similar situation, I'd stand up for what I believe is ultimately right, and go against what I believe is wrong. When you hear mental health, right, when you hear addiction, you do sympathize with the young man. But I will say really kind of two things, I think, most importantly, is one, the very first time that you gamble, you're not addicted. The 100th time that you gamble, you're addicted.
Correct.
And so when you do it once, that's kept people out of halls of fame for life. That's gotten people banished from their sport for life. So I'll say kind of that first and foremost. The second thing is, Rick, and you've probably heard me say this before, and I might have said it on the show. At a certain point, we have to decide to abide by the rules. We create them as a membership. The NCAA enforces them. I think the NCAA national office staff and the membership together try to streamline them, try to update them, try to modernize them. But if we're not willing to abide by them, they're not worth anything. And what you've seen over the last several years is lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, injunction after injunction after injunction, when it was inconvenient for one place. And the inconvenience of one place changed it for the entire membership. And so to me, that's where we have to get back to a willingness to be, kind of sound political, right? But it's a willingness to be governed. It's a willingness to give up maybe sometimes what's in my best interest for what's in the best interest of the whole, right? What's in the best interest of college sports. And look, I was encountered with something this spring where, a student athlete that wanted to transfer here, had an interest in pursuing a waiver, and, his network of people that are associated with him are saying, oh yeah, we can get an injunction. And to me, I finally drew the line, and I just said, no, I'm not in the business of suing for the sake of something that I don't agree with. Your time is up. So therefore our time is up recruiting you. And we're going to move on to somebody who has eligibility, who deserves to be a student athlete here at our place.
And I think that's the only approach you can take. I think that's the only answer. And what that does is reiterate to people around you their dedication to that program and doing the things that are right and understanding the bigger picture, because it felt like to me that all of a sudden the bigger picture had gotten lost for all the wrong reasons. Right. So, well, it's a very difficult thing. I know it's starting to become more and more of a problem. I mean, you get the same task force reports that we do at Radford about what they're uncovering, these individual places, what they're finding with the gambling and so forth. And I hope that we have some kind of ultimate leadership in place to help continue to implement these strongholds. I hope. Yeah.
I mean, at Radford, at JMU, at any place, right? I mean, we all do the very best job. I have a member of our board who is very interested in the topic, as he should be. But he just talks about how do we mitigate, right? How do we protect the institution, right? How do we protect the student athletes against themselves? And, there's technologies. All we can do is talk about it, right? All we can do is educate. At the end of the day, people have to choose to do what's right and live up to it. And, again, I sympathize. I do have an incredible amount of respect for the situation that they're going through. I hope that the young man gets the help and is able to overcome, obviously, the addiction that he is battling. But that doesn't mean that you have to play college football anymore.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Get better. We want you to get better. I'm very sympathetic to anybody's addiction. I understand. But yeah, you can't sit there and say, hey, I know I did this. I went to 1 week of counseling. I'm going to be okay. No, you're not even close. Right.
No doubt.
Well, it's one of the negative things that's happening right now as a subplot to all this. But I'm glad I'm like you. I'm just glad it's resolved, and it would have been a stain on the entire college football season, in my opinion.
It would have been tough. I saw someone, they actually put, I think, RIP to the death of college football, and there was like June the 5th or June the 12th, like, and then it was over. It was about a week long where everybody was incredibly nervous and concerned. And there's still reasons to be very interested in the topic and some of the things that we're facing. But I'm glad that specific one we were able to put behind us quicker than maybe we all thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You getting up here anytime soon? You're going to hang around Pulaski County in your old ditch?
You know what? It's a good question. I know this week I have some things going on here. I'm taking a family vacation the first part of July, kind of getting out with Mallory and the kids for a few days. And
good.
But I would say in July, we'll have the opportunity to come home, and I need to check on my mom. I need to check on my dad, and make sure that they're doing okay and that they have everything that they need. And but again, while I can't be there, there's a lot of people that support them. I think I've told you before, my dad's kind of health situation. My mom's his primary caretaker. So it's always good to get back and spend time there. But I do appreciate the people that look out for them on a daily basis.
And a little birdie just told me that you've got a little bigger smile on your face because your New York Knickerbockers have a parade tomorrow. We're going to be carrying around this gold trophy for the first time in 53 years.
I'm 42 years old. And in my lifetime, I have not had a lot of opportunities to celebrate the Knicks. When winning the Eastern Conference Finals, I thought would be our crowning achievement. And then all of a sudden, you look up and they win in 5. It was fun. It was as a long-suffering New York Knicks fan that has questioned ownership for 2 decades, who fell in love. I fell in love with them, right? It was the Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Anthony Mason. Those were the years that I fell in love with them. I would pull for them, then they'd get beat by the Bulls, and then I had to pull for the Jordan and the Bulls in the finals. But I've always loved the Knicks. I don't know why. It's the greatest. I think, like, who wouldn't want to play basketball in Madison Square Garden, right? Exactly. When it's good, you're in New York City.
The Mecca. It's the Mecca, for God's sake.
Who would not want to play basketball there? But it's it's a good time, and I'm a Knicks fan, and Saturday night was a lot of fun watching that comeback. I will tell you, I was at a conference last week for Game 4. I was in Vegas, and we stayed one more night because Mallory wanted to go see No Doubt in concert at the Sphere.
Okay.
And so we leave dinner. They're down 29. I get my seat in the Sphere, and they've cut it to 15 at the start of the 4th. And I'm thinking, well, at least they're making it respectable. And then they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. So as much as I was excited to be by her and to get the opportunity to see No Doubt at the Sphere, the fact that I missed the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history for my team. But I'm superstitious. I probably wouldn't have, when they started making the comeback, if I would have turned it on,
exactly,
it might have been a different result. So it happened the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, they get it down to 2. You turn it on, they're down 10. And
that's
you're
right.
Like,
that's right.
I can't do this anymore.
That's all right.
It was unreal, and I really enjoyed watching them play. I haven't watched a lot of NBA. I've been kind of down the league recent years. I got to be honest. I haven't liked the way it's trended, but I was really enjoying watching that team. Brunson, what he's developed into, and I know you are. You're a hard-nosed defensive guy. I mean, the way they dedicate themselves at the end of the floor, man, very impressive. So
yeah, they are fun to watch, right? Jalen Brunson is obviously very special. It was good to see Cat, kind of do what he did, right? First couple games, I think he got us off to the right start. I'm a huge Mikal Bridges fan. I like the roster. I want to give credit where credit's due. They're not here, but for Tom Thibodeau, in my opinion, right? He changed the culture.
He did.
And he just didn't get to see it through the end, but Mike Brown obviously proved to be the right coach. And the parade tomorrow, it's going to be a sight to see.
How was No Doubt? The peeps are asking. How was the concert?
No Doubt was really good. So we've had 2 opportunities to go to Vegas the last 6 months. I have some friends. We have some friends in Denver, and we met them in Vegas about 2 weeks after the CFP, just to kind of unwind a little bit. And I got to see the Backstreet Boys in concert at the Sphere. And I know what people are thinking, like, oh, he's gone to 2 concerts with Mallory, for Mallory. The Backstreet Boys was for me. I actually enjoyed that. Was mine. We had a blast with that one. No Doubt was equally as good. Gwen Stefani, great performer. I remember I had forgotten more songs of No Doubts than I probably remember. But yeah, I mean, a bunch of 50-year-olds bouncing all over a stage. If you ever have an opportunity to go to the Sphere, like just the way your seat vibrates, the acoustics, all of the screens, it's something to see. And so we had a blast. We had a really good time.
Did they have
what I can remember of it?
Was Blake Shelton there with her? Or was it just her? Was she just
I didn't see Blake. I didn't see Blake, but I'll be honest with you. I wasn't looking as hard for him as I was her as well.
I understand completely. Yeah, he traded up pretty well. He did. Well, the next time we reconvene here, you're going to look a lot different because I'm going to be wearing your Knicks jersey. All right, you're going to have on your Brunson jersey or your Mikal Bridges jersey.
At my age and my shape, it's better to dress like coaches than players. So you'll probably see me what I'm wearing right now. I might have a pullover on next time we're together. But
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that, my friend. Good stuff.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, it's good to talk to you, man. And
always good to be with you.
Yeah,
always good to be with you. It's we're gonna blink and it's gonna be here again.
I know. We will be in touch soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's new with you? Other than being a married man.
Yeah, it's kind of cool being married. It's my second time through. That's so right. But yeah,
you'll get it right.
Good. It feels good. It's right now. It's right now. But doing just the show, we're just getting ready. We got a lot of good things happening on the channel. We got a little pop culture channel starting here. We got a lot.
I heard about that. I saw you put something out on that, and I might have to. I mean, I'm a Backstreet Boys No Doubt guy. I mean, I can bring some expertise there. Yeah, so let's go.
Nothing's off limits. We're just going to talk about everything under the sun on the Big Dog Pop. Yeah, it's going to be whatever. Yeah, we're going to put people on the screen. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to debut tomorrow night. So yeah,
good deal.
Stop on by.
Good deal.
Let's see. Oh, real quick. Now you're getting a bunch of questions. I know you got to go. Question for Matt. You obviously are great at what you do. Is there a secret sauce to be on the same page with the president, AD, football coach, and all that? What is the secret sauce? I think I know. I think I kind of talked to you about this before.
What is the secret sauce? First off, I'll say it's got to be even more than that, right? We all report to a board. So the board has to be involved. I've actually started thinking about this a little bit more here recently. Everybody, when they talk about alignment, they talk about, it seems like it's in a vertical line. That's your board, that's your president, that's your AD, that's your coaches, that's his or her assistant coaches. I mean, there's a lot of people there. It's also got to be horizontal. You can't apologize at JMU or anywhere else, right, to have the type of success that we've grown accustomed to when you're having to defend athletics, when you're having to say, hey, we need this, and everybody around the room is saying, that's athletics, that's not core, right? And it's not part of our mission. It's not a strategy that is going to advance the institution. So I think you have to have both vertical and kind of horizontal alignment, at least support horizontally. But that's a really good question. I would say the secret sauce is that I think it starts with just communication. What is the value proposition of athletics? For us, I think about the exposure. It's an investment in athletics it's more than just an investment in winning and losing. It's an investment in our brand. How people feel about our brand. When you invest and you win, people feel good about the brand, right? When you invest and you lose, people don't feel good, or you invest, less amounts and you don't win. There's some negativity associated with that. And investment in athletics is an investment in the experience of people that come to this campus, right? First and foremost, our students, our faculty and staff walk around a little bit more proudly. Our alums come back and seem like they're in a little bit better mood when we're winning. So I think it's just communication. It goes back to what we do on a daily basis. Yeah, we compete, but we also graduate, and I think that we exist as really kind of a leadership laboratory. We have 450 student athletes who are going to either stay in Harrisonburg, or they're going to go wherever they came from, or go to a new place, and they're probably going to be some of the most successful people wherever they go. Because of the traits, the characteristics, the experiences that they learn right here on our campus with our coaches, kind of in this ecosystem. And so, I think it's communication. I think it's, and part of that communication sometimes is you have to be a hard advocate. You've got to say, hey, we need, and I'd like to think that it's all roses all the time, but there's a lot of times where, I do have to have conversations with colleagues and say, hey, I get it, the situation that you're in, but I need this more. We need to do this, and I've got to be passionate about it and willing to fight for it, and at the same time probably show a little bit of restraint and be political at times.
Understand.
That's a long-winded answer, but I hope it's a good one.
No, it's a great one. That's a great one. I can't imagine that going any other way, actually. I think that's the perfect answer. So, hey, Jack Turner's going to be on next week. Anything you want me to tell Jack next week?
First off, I everywhere the guy goes, and I try to keep up with all those guys as much as I possibly can. I want him to know that I notice that every program that he touches, he makes better.
Everyone.
Every single program that he touches, he makes better. And that, again, it goes back to the way they taught us, right? You might not always be the most talented, but if you outwork, out tough, do all of those sorts of things, I think success will come. And he's going to build teams as much as he builds them on the field. He's going to build them in a weight room. He's going to build them with the right character, the right DNA, to be successful. So yeah, let him know first off that I think he does a great job. And the second thing is to tell him that when it's August and you're practicing in dust, a little water wouldn't have hurt us.
I'll remind him.
A little water was not weakness, and the ground didn't need it more than our throats did.
Exactly, no doubt.
Yeah.
Great stuff as always, brother. Exciting times. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. It's always good to be on with you, and yeah, one day we'll have to do more than 30. We might take this thing for 60 minutes and just talk about nonsense.
I think 60 minutes got to happen.
Your ratings might go down for that blip.
No. I think they'll just continue to arise above the Phoenix arising. Yes,
that's right. I love what you're doing with your shows. I love seeing that you're expanding it. Congratulations on the wedding, and I'll see you here in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. And congratulations to you, brother, for everything, man.
I appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Man. Take care.
See you.
Matt Roan joining us on the program. Great conversation. Yeah, come on. An hour with Matty, that's easy. I mean, come on. Of course we're going to do that. Yeah, everybody how about that conversation, huh? I mean, that guy. Appreciate him. I mean, secrets. You know what the secret sauce is? Secret sauce is Matt Roan. How about that? Now, he wouldn't want to hear that because he's a very humble guy, but that's the secret sauce. You bring that guy in your organization, you've added the final little spices to whatever ingredients you're trying to put together to make that souffle or that main course. There's your secret sauce. Great stuff today. Man, what a great show. And again, it has not a damn thing to do with me, but let's talk about Keon Brown, for God's sakes. Damian Sordelet, Donnie Lynn, and, of course, Matt Roan. And then guess what? We do it all again tomorrow. David Smith. I told earlier, we had a brand new watch your break forever. He's a big NFL guy. We have the best NFL analyst anywhere. I say that without any hesitation. David Smith tomorrow at 6:30. Andy Bitter. Ron Shelburne. We got 2 Radford Hall of Famers on tomorrow. David Smith, Ron Shelburne. And then, of course, Dwight Vick. You can try to find better ways to spend 2.5 hours, but good luck. And again, it's only because of who they are. Thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, and share the channel. I'll have a more definitive time as we will debut Big Dog Pop tomorrow night. I believe around 7 is what I'm looking at. And we're just going to let it fly. And you are invited. All you got to do is send me your email. I will send you an email invitation. You'll hop on the screen and we will rock and roll and we will talk about everything under the sun. It's going to be completely unfiltered. Might be beverages during the show. We'll have a blast. Thank you for helping us slide over the hump. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and we will see you tomorrow on the Thursday edition. Take care, everybody.